and welcome everybody to another Waltons review. With me, I got Resolute, Germ, and Daniel's Top Topics. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Thanks.
I'm doing good. I didn't punch the boss and I didn't take a toaster bath, so I guess I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty sure people are getting sick of that joke. But I think we're finally gonna get some rain we've been waiting for. Hasn't rained since.
Lucky you.
Actually, I don't think it's rained since 4th of July. But of course, in August here, when it rains. And usually accompanied by about 60-mile-an-hour winds with it, usually. All right. So
I think we won't get rain here until probably early to mid-September.
Okay. Oh, this ought to be an interesting stream later. Salties. All right, it looks like Daniel got the first like and hello there. I said hi back, PV says, hi, Gorilla, just watch it now. If I do pop on, it will be near the end, probably. It's a good episode so far. We told him we're going to postpone an hour. He said, excellent. I'll be done watching before then, so we'll join in. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and add this. And I will read our prologue as we normally do. Looking back across the span of 40 years, the sharp edges of the Great Depression have worn away in memory. The period seems a happy time, yet when we lived them, they were trying years. And I remember a time when our family's pride and our integrity were challenged in a manner that was new and shattering to all of us. That's actually a pretty good summary of the whole episode. There. Yeah, PB says, hey, Gorilla, did you post the link? Well, I had it posted before. I'll repost it. There. Pop says, hello, and hello to you, Pop. Oh, yeah, I didn't put anything in the streaming group. We literally all just got done, and I had to go shut the windows and get the grill inside before it starts raining. And PvP says, hi, Pop. And Pop says, hey, PvP. Alrighty, so. What's that? Directed by here. That's a new name. I think that's a newer name. Harry Harris.
Sounds like it.
Alright, they come in. Apparently, they got a day old newspaper. And Grandma says, I'll lose better than none. And Libby tells, yeah, they're complaining because their grocery bill is 92 cents. God, I wish my grocery bill was 92 cents.
Yeah, that one candy bar would be really filling for the week.
Yeah. And hey, PvP.
Hey, guys.
Hi, PvP.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Hey, I got a 4-day weekend here because we have a holiday on Monday, so I'm a pretty happy camper, actually, to be honest.
Don't you Canadians take way too many holidays?
Well, I don't mind getting an extra day off work. I got to be honest, but that 92 cent bag of groceries made me laugh. It's like, yeah, I wish it was 92 cents for a bag of groceries that size.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, did you hear? Like, she was complaining. She was like, 92 cents. That's expensive. Like, that was expensive to them.
Well,
we wish it was 92 cents here.
Well, the context is, though, this is the 1930s Depression era, right?
Wait, I got to switch years because they're in 34 now.
So, but still, like $1, was a lot of money back in those days. Even though it's like parking meter money for us now, right? But different times, of course.
Wait, you can get a parking meter for 92 cents? Wait.
No.
I guess
No.
I guess
Wow.
I got the parking meter is. Ha!
I'd probably just throw $1 in it to be safe, but you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
back
never
then,
used.
back then, what you could probably get like rent a room for a month for like what, $5 or something. Like, it was crazy,
Yeah.
right? It was so
Okay.
cheap.
So in today's money, that 92 cents is $20.68 for
Probably at
that bag.
least, if not more, actually.
That's
Oh,
still
Well, I
doing
just
pretty
did.
damn good.
I did the calculations from 73 from 1934 to 2023 here. That's the what it comes out to, even though this was
oh,
made in 72.
so you did the online calculus. That's great, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I've been
All
doing
right.
this every time they throw money out there. I tend, and Germ's actually been pretty spot on most of the stuff. Like he'll only be off by a couple cents or something, or if it's the bigger numbers, off by $1 or so.
Yeah, but back then, I mean, everything cost less because it just did because it was the 1930s. I mean,
Well,
we've
they're
had
still on.
inflation.
Well, they were on the gold standard.
That's true.
Now,
Yeah,
now this product placement down here, I didn't even notice in the episode. It says Ellis brand something soap.
it's probably a 1930s brand, so probably nothing you could buy
Yeah.
now.
Well, it
Which
could
doesn't
be
exist. It didn't exist in the 70s.
Yeah, or
okay.
maybe it's just a made up name on the soap. I don't know.
Well, sometimes they do product place. Like a company will pay good money to have product placement.
Yeah. This is like what, 74 you said, so I don't know if
Yeah,
product placement was a big thing back in those years, to be
yeah. It's
honest.
kind of like Coors there paid like Roseanne there, and they always had the cans facing the camera that said
Oh
Coors
God.
on it.
Oh jeez.
Whenever they're drinking beer, you'll notice. Like watch a couple episodes of Roseanne,
Wow.
you'll see them when they're having beer. They'll always have them facing the camera, and they all say Coors.
I forgot about that. That's pretty
Or
funny.
in Back to the Future, they had Pepsi.
Oh jeez.
It's kind of like Pepsi in Back to the Future.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have noticed over the years some shows do have that product placement thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And welcome to Trusty Ape. Welcome. He says, I binge watched the Waltons with my aunt a couple years ago. It's better than Leave It to Beaver. Oh yeah, we need more people than we need more people like the Waltons there.
Well, Leave It to Beaver is basically a comedy, and Walton's is basically a drama. So
Let's face it, a prostate exam is better than Leave It to Beaver.
I don't know about that. I don't mind Leave It to Beaver. It's got some good episodes, but it's not like something I watch that often. So yeah. Walton's is much better show, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they shoot them off there. They're playing goldfish. Oh, that's one thing there. Jace asked me if we had any AIDS. He goes, no. Then as they're walking away to the living room, because Mama there shoot them all out so she can cook in peace. He goes, you do too have an AIDS? And then they ask John Boy, is it true if I have an AIDS I have to give it to him? Yep, it's the rules. So he was trying to cheat his brother there. But now his brother knows his whole hand.
No, he wasn't trying to cheat his brother. The little pipsqueak had no idea how to play go fish. There's no
he
no
looked at his
teach him the
hand.
rule.
Yeah, he's looking at the hands. And Trusty Ape here has a big old smile on his face.
I gotta say, when I look at the Waltons house, it's a pretty damn nice house, actually. It might be basic, but it's spacious and roomy, and I mean, it's the kind of place that people would pay big money for to live in nowadays. I would think, right?
Well, it's an open floor plan.
Yeah, exactly.
I want their porch. Oh,
the porch is nice. Yeah, yeah.
You pay big money for that now because they haven't built it in probably 50 years.
But I'm thinking about the open floor plan stuff, right? It's like that seems to be the rage these days to have the open floor plan, if you can afford it, which I can't.
Now they were looking at a car. I can't remember the car. Does anybody remember the car type?
Was it a Nash?
Yeah, Nash. It was like 750. No,
Yes,
700.
I think 7,500 or something. No, it's
Yeah,
probably seven. It could be 750 back in those days. Yeah,
750.
yeah.
750. So,
And that was a luxury car back then for $750.
oh no, that can't be right. That cannot be
Can
right.
you can you imagine what like you like a I don't know if they were still making Model Ts then, but can you imagine how cheap those suckers must have been?
Okay, that cannot be right because that's $16,863. Our cars nowadays are the cheapest you can find brand new is 40,000. Even if you go to 795, which is what I think it was, that's only 17,875, five and some change.
No, the thing is though, Gorilla, like prices change. Like I'm not don't quote me on this. I'm kind of just going off the top of my head here, but like in Vancouver, BC, I think you could buy like a house back in the '70s for like maybe $30,000, and now they're going for like around $1 million. So, the prices do change a lot over time.
Yeah,
It's
well, that's
crazy.
that's because of all the regulation and all that slowing down the building process there. Because one of your guys is what you call your parliament people up there, like the people in
Uh,
parliament.
the people in Parliament. That's probably
Yeah.
what we call them. Oh,
He
oh,
calls
well,
them jackasses just like we do.
Oh, I call them a lot worse than that. But no, like we call ours like congresswoman or representative or Congress or
well,
senator.
I guess we've got the elected officials in the House of Commons, and then of course we also have that second chamber called the Senate here as well. Believe it or not, we do have a Senate. So yeah.
Well, what one guy was going off on your housing authority director or whatever you call him. Ours is the hub director, the
HUD.
Secretary of Housing Urban Development. But
Yeah.
but anyhow, he was going off on my Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. Houses were 3 times more expensive than on the American side, and it's all due to the regulations and the red tape and stuff.
I don't. I know dick about real estate, so I can't really comment. But
I don't
yeah,
know. He
housing
just
ain't
went
cheap.
off.
Housing ain't cheap, though. I would agree with that point. Housing is not cheap these days.
Yeah. Well, he went off in the Canadian way.
Oh well.
He's blood,
What,
Well,
but
apologizing every other sentence?
well, well, he's being very polite. But if it was the equivalent to a person in the United States, they would have been telling him, "Why the fuck is this so goddamn fucking expensive? You fucking asshole!" That basically was what he's saying in Canadian politeness. But
yeah.
anyhow, Trusty Ape says inflation ain't no joke.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not.
but
Hey, back in the '70s, you could go see like a great rock and roll. You could go to a great rock and roll concert for like $3. Can you imagine trying to do that these days?
they're like 100. Well, depending on who it is, it can be anywhere from 50 to $200.
Oh, or more. Jesus, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there's some Taylor Swift tickets.
I think the Doobie
Taylor
Brothers.
Swift tickets are sell your soul.
The
to get
Doobie
in.
Brothers. I think the Doobie Brothers are playing here sometime this year, and their tickets are probably starting in the $200 range. It's nuts, right? It's like, I have no interest in seeing the Doobie Brothers anyway because they always kind of bored me. But you could see bands like Black Sabbath or something like in the '70s for like $3. Like it's nuts. It's totally nuts. And that was when they were at their peak, right? Back then.
Yeah. Oh, you can get them for $52.
You can still get some deals, yeah, if you shop around, I guess. But I think a lot of the problem with ticket prices for rock and roll concerts is they have a lot of the people that buy the tickets and then they resell them at an inflated rate, right? So that kind of stinks as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's why you gotta be fast about it. That's why they're doing a lot of online
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, yeah, I remember. I remember when my buddy and I got tickets for Elvis Costello back in 1994 on his Brutal Youth tour. We showed up like right before the mall opened, and we were like the second people in line, and we snapped up like 3 tickets for ourselves and one of our friends for probably a good price back in those days. It probably wasn't that expensive. And
Yeah.
but I heard like from what I heard, the tickets pretty much sold out like an hour within the first hour. So yeah, we were pretty lucky.
Yeah. All right. Now we get to the what was it? The McNaney house, or the Claybourne house.
Claybourne's, yeah, nice house.
Oh yeah. And here we got the miner there trying to flirt with John, but he's not taking the pedo bait.
Well, they did mention she was 16, so she's almost legal. Give it a few more years, you know.
That's not creepy at all. That's not creepy at all.
Well, you know.
But,
I mean, you did kind of mention the pedo thing there, Gorilla, to be honest.
No, I was saying she's no, what I said is she is flirting with him, and John's not taking the pedo bait because he's married.
Yeah, definitely. Well, John would never look at another woman anyway, because Olivia is his only true love, right?
Yeah.
So
but anyhow, yeah, they never even mentioned what the hell he was fixing on. There's something in the back, and it was apparently a temporary fix.
Well, he said they needed to order a part, so I'm guessing maybe a compressor or something like that. Just a wild guess. I don't know anything about fridges really, but
I don't even know what the hell this big piece on top is.
I think it's very cool though that they actually found a vintage fridge from that era and put it in the scene. Like that's pretty awesome, really.
Well, it's kind of critical to the story.
Yeah, but I mean,
they were still making that style in 1973.
Really? Wow. I did not know that.
That must be the motor on top right there. That's the cooling coils. Like we have them on the back of the fridge now.
Yeah, that would make sense, kind of actually. It could be cooling coils. Yeah.
Pop says that's a compressor.
Yeah, that's the compressor. Okay.
So, okay.
That's the compressor and coils then.
Anyway, I just thought it was really neat to see, an old 30s fridge. I really enjoyed that scene.
Yeah, and he got the helmet, and she goes, "Oh, how it sounds so delightful," and all that. And she says that the boy will square up with him. Well, he offers him a ride because apparently that's another critical aspect of the story. He had to walk all the way over there, which is apparently it's more than a couple miles because he said that toolbox gets heavy after a couple miles.
Yeah, it was probably like at least 3 or 4 miles, I'm guessing, right?
So he offered him a ride there, and he hands him an envelope. And Pops here says, that was one step above an icebox. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine having an ice box. You have to put a block of ice in to keep your food cold. That must have been... Well, I guess it was normal back then, but it seems like a weird concept now.
Well, that's better than what they had to do in Little House on the Prairie. The community all shared an ice box, and they had to go walk away to go get their ice.
I guess there was even a time when people used to bury their food underground because it was colder underground. Like,
well, that's
I remember reading somewhere. Yeah, like root cellars, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got a cellar here. Well, it's full. Well, they say it's for. Well, it counts as a tornado shelter, but also it stays a constant like 60 degrees down there.
Right.
It's not 50.
Yeah, it is cold. It is colder underground for sure. Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
What was?
No, what was that?
No. Well, I was just going to ask, what was that character's name? He had like a 2-part name, but I can't remember the hell.
This guy, that's Curtis Lee. Oh, Stuart Lee. Stuart
Lee. That's it. Okay.
He's played by Dennis Dugan.
He looks very familiar. He must have been in some other stuff I've
MASH,
seen over the years.
Yeah. MASH and and Adam Sandler stuff. You said, Germ?
Yeah, in his older years, he is in bit parts in Adam Sandler movies.
Oh, really?
But most people will know him from season 1 of MASH. He was set up as a bit part to marry a hooker so she can easily get to America.
Oh, okay. So he didn't. It sounds like he did not have an overly extensive career. I'm guessing then.
Not a regular on any shows, as IMDb said.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I did recognize him though. Yeah, okay. Must be
And
from MASH.
the girl is Janet Baldwin, the one that plays Amelia.
Okay.
And Mrs. Claybourne is Diane Webster.
And I'm guessing none of them probably had major acting careers after this.
Right. All right, now I just learned something today because I seen Grandma come out of this doorway here. I've noticed it like once or twice before. People said it wasn't always there. It's not there in every episode. But apparently that's the second door to the bedroom.
It looks like the porch outside, though. Well, I guess it could be though.
No,
Yeah,
this is the front door out to the porch.
okay. Yeah, it could be a bedroom then, I guess.
Yeah, that's the add-on for the grandparents.
Ah, okay.
Here, just a sec.
This is pretty funny. This scene coming up. I got a good laugh out of this.
Which one? The one with Grandma?
Yeah, when she starts going on about playing cards, that's pretty good.
Oh, here I can play it. Here, I'm getting it pulled up here. So, present. Oh shoot! Oops. Wrong button. So, if you look here, can you see my mouse?
Yep.
So here's like the couch, and here's like the thing. There's that door that Grandma came out of. Here's the front door. It goes right in the. Then they have another door that goes up into an entryway and out into the stairs, and this goes upstairs, and that goes into the living room, and that's where the fireplace and the desk is.
And the kitchen, yeah, okay. Wow, that's a great diagram. Gosh. So basically the grandparents' bedroom was on the ground floor and everybody else was upstairs.
And I think this is the upstairs here. So you got the stairs here, comes into the hallway. You got the bathroom off to here. Here's John Boy's. Then here's the girls' room's right next to John Boy's. Oh wait, that's the boys' bedroom, and the bathroom is in between the girls' room and the. But I don't know where. But they. Oh, this must be Olivia's room. John's room right over here.
I gotta say, John Boy's got a pretty spacious bedroom there. When we were cramming all the girls into that other room about the same size, that's pretty funny.
Well, that's because he was the same age there.
Yeah. Well, I guess he was considered the adult of the household under Ma and Pa, right? So he was getting close to being an adult anyway.
Yeah. Well, the oldest gets the spacious room.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, I never really. I thought that was a closet or something, but then Grandma came. So I guess Grandma came out of the closet. All right, so you're
That's
talking
cool.
about.
That's cool, though. I'm glad I learned. I never realized that was the grandparents' bedroom. That's awesome, man.
Hear that? All right, so this is the scene that you liked. Oops.
Don't get a copyright claim now. Be careful.
Got any sixes?
Go fish. Jim Bob, Jason, you're playing cards in this house?
Well, it's not a gambling game, Grandma.
Well, I don't see anything too evil about go fish, Grandma.
Go fish today and poker tomorrow. The evils of gambling can put down roots in shallow ground.
All right, is there pause it there? I really pushing that one there.
Don't take it. Yeah, don't take a chance.
Oh, Esther, it's no worse than hearts.
Go fish.
Well,
It's always...
yeah. Well, we are discussing this scene here. It's a pretty funny scene, you know. Grandma gets upset about them playing cards, you know. But my grandparents played cards. Well, of course, my grandparents always went to the casino, but that's the difference. like my grandmother, you could always tell when she won one big at the casino, she'd always be sitting there carefully counting out her money, and documenting her. She was really good with accounting and stuff. But you can always tell when she lost some money at the casino. You can ask her, even if you ask her, go, how'd you do at the casino? We are not going to talk about it. But anyhow.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you go into any local casino, probably 70% of the people in there are probably, old age folks, right?
Well, I went to the casino here a couple weeks ago. They got mad at me.
Why?
Because they made it a smoke-free casino there.
Oh,
I was up $50 when we left. As I was walking out, I thanked them because they saved me a bunch of money by making me go outside and smoke.
Oh, okay.
Well, because if you think about it, go like you have to walk out, go out and smoke. You're not at the machine pressing that button for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's like I can remember even in the 80s, you could pretty much smoke indoors anywhere and nobody gave a damn. And now it's like, pretty much non-existent that you could smoke inside, a building these days.
No one gives a damn no one still gives a damn. It's just the states that say that you can't do it.
But this was on a reservation. This was on a reservation. The state comes in, they tell them to go fuck themselves.
Well, depending on their deal with the state, is the level of how much go fuck themselves they get.
Yeah. But, so anyhow, I think Hearts would be worse for it than Go Fish, don't you think? I don't know. I gamble.
Same petty gambling potential on both.
Like I play cards a lot, but I don't play poker at the casino. Just I won't even play blackjack at the casino because I have a tap. Well, I have a habit when I'm thinking and all that to tap my fingers on the solid surface, like when I'm thinking. So
they'll stop you. They won't take that as a hit. They'll tell you to step away from the table eventually because you're confusing the camera.
Well, their security guys. What? Oh. So anyhow, I think we talked about that scene enough to justify Warner Brothers copyright thing. Otherwise, they can go fuck themselves. No, I thought this part here was pretty interesting. He was listening to the thing, and apparently they're collecting. What the government was doing was collecting all the excess food and all that, then shipping it off to bread lines and all that. And Charlottesville was going to get their first bread line.
That was sort of what they were doing. In reality, what the government was doing was undercutting the price on all the goods and then distributing it as charity.
Well, my tax money.
You had to sell to the government.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather my tax money go to that than to what it's going to now.
Yeah, I guess there were bread lines back in the Depression, weren't there? Now that I remember. Yeah, now that you mention it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the way they ran them made the Depression worse for everybody else. Because what they did was collapse the price of foodstuffs. Thus, no one can make any money off of any goods, so everyone remained poor.
Well, the problem
Thus,
too
everyone
was
remained dependent on the government handout.
Well, the problem stems from Hoover decided to do nothing. This economic storm will ride itself out, and all these what they call Hoovervilles are popping up everywhere. So that's how FDR got elected, and then they went full bore on the regulations and machines and everything.
Yeah, and those Hoovervilles tripled in size inside a year and a half.
Yeah.
The only way they cleared out those encampments is when they started press ganging people into service, be it military or work programs.
Yeah, but anyhow, it goes there. Or here, I'll just play a scene.
Esther,
Oh,
will you stop rattling in them dishes? You're making as much noise as Teddy Roosevelt charging up San Juan Hill.
yeah, Grandpa was always talking about that. I could skip this scene here.
Well, it's one of the highlights of Grandpa's life.
We sure are a fortunate family.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the bounty of the land, we'd find this table as bare as a lot of folks are finding theirs.
Yeah, back when you can hunt all you wanted, not have to worry about that DNR guy coming up on you or fish as much as you need. Of course, the DNR is kind of useless because they're never around when the groups that are actually abusing the system are there. Okay, I think of...
Plenty of people having to take handouts these days.
No member of this family has ever accepted charity.
Well, no member of this family has ever been hit by the depression so hard that they've had to.
That's the point I wanted to make there. They never... There's been a constant theme throughout season 1 and season... or throughout the series. They don't go into debt. They don't take handouts except for the Waltons movie, but that was a gift from a friend and all that. But if they can't afford it outright, they don't buy it. Except maybe the house and the car and stuff. Well, the house. Except for the house.
Hell, he built the house.
Oh, did he? Yeah. And here's John getting dropped off by Stuart Lee. And he's going to go meet up with May. Was it Maybell or May? Was it the Mayberries
Something
or
like
Maybell?
that. Not Mayberries. It is Maisie Bell, Daisy Bell, something like that.
Yeah. PvP, do you remember the name of them? Oh, PvP must have had to step away.
But their
It's
name isn't really important.
Yeah, it's like Maya Bell and all that. He offers to bring him in. He says no. Then he takes off. They're at the table there. And he goes, he pays him just like his dad did, a sealed envelope. And he hands it to him, and apparently he only got a buck, and everybody's shocked that they only paid him a buck because I think the only reason he went to go fix that damn fridge is because those people had some money. But of course, John is a generous guy like that. He'd go fix stuff for people. You okay, PvP?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just had to step away for a minute. I'm good.
You just started like breathing heavy, like you're hurting or something.
Oh, did I? Oh, jeez. Sometimes I do kind of get congestion, so I do tend to cough and stuff. But
no, it sounds like you're doing that, like you're in pain, but you're not trying to make any noise pain.
That's me trying to move my damn chair. I need to get a new office chair. This old chair is kind of a pain in the ass, actually. I'm always having to adjust it. So yeah, sometimes I guess I might make a noise and I'm trying to move the chair around here.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's not the best one I got.
Yeah, I really need to get a new chair, especially my boss told me we're all going to be working from home starting by the middle of September because she's closing our office down, which was kind of major news, actually, after 3.5 years being in the office. I won't miss the commute time, though, or paying for gas or driving on winter roads, so that's all good. But, yeah, this crappy chair I got is probably not going to cut it, so I need to buy a new chair in the next month or so, I guess.
Yeah, I think they're preparing everybody for the eventuality, instead of having everybody concentrated in offices downtown in these cities, where one strike can really financially devastate or one nuke could really devastate a country's economy there. Everybody can still be working if they're all working from home. They're not all concentrated in one location.
It makes more sense, I think, to work from home, actually, really.
No,
Like,
but I
Depending on
don't.
your field, yeah.
I never enjoyed, having to commute. Like, that'll save me probably like 3 hours a week of driving time alone, right? So that means instead of getting up 2 hours before work, I can get up like an hour before work, make myself a cup of tea and a bit of breakfast, and just go to it, right? Instead of having to spend all that time driving, and
Yeah.
it'll be a great time saver for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, your British really showed right there. Your
Did it?
Britishness. Wake up and get a cup of tea.
Well, I do like tea. I used to drink gallons of coffee when I was at college,
Yeah.
30 something years ago. But I must admit, I do like tea overall more.
Yeah, your British is showing.
Yeah, well, my mother was born in the UK, so I'm technically 50% British, I suppose. So
Yeah, I did get it.
there you go.
I could read it. It's like whenever, like, name something that's English. Tea and biscuits at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, what was it? Mash and bangers is that what they call it for breakfast?
I don't know.
I'm not sure what that is, but I think it's like potatoes and sausage or something. I don't bloody know.
Yeah.
Anyway, do we
Close
get to
enough,
this?
yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Did they open the envelope yet?
Yeah, and they
Yep.
said he's not as generous as his father.
$1's pretty chintzy, I gotta say. Even back then, that doesn't seem like a whole lot of money to pay somebody for their labor. To be honest, it kind of sucks. This is a good scene here.
Yeah, I wish I could get people to repair my shit for $20 or $22.
This is where the episode for me started to get more and more interesting at this point.
Yeah. They're at the fire, they're talking. And he has 11 counts outstanding. People owe money. But John's too nice to go over with the baseball bat. Pull Stewie on him and go, "Where's my money, bitch? Where's my money? I want my money. Give me my money." Or
Yeah,
I don't know
well.
if you remember. I don't know if you know what scene I'm talking about from Family Guy.
Probably not.
Brian owes Stewie $50 and he wouldn't pay him back there. So Stewie took a bat and just started beating him with the bat there that smashed his
God.
teeth on the toilet bowl. Goes, "Where's my money, bitch? Where's my money? I want my money. You got my money? Where's my money?"
That does sound like Family Guy.
John's,
I've only seen a handful of Family Guy. They're pretty funny, but it's not a show I've ever gotten around to watching a lot, to be honest.
So anyhow, John's too polite to do that there.
I love this scene though, where John's looking at the accounts not paid that have gone up. What did he say? Like from 3, the month before to 11 this month or whatever. So obviously things are getting much worse at this point. And then he's like, "We got all these unpaid bills," and you can just sense the desperation that he's feeling, right? Which I think is a great scene because it's very understated, but yeah, I can totally relate. When you got those unpaid bills, it's not a good feeling.
Oh yeah. And Olivia asked him, why doesn't he wear his wedding ring anymore? He just goes, I just forget to put it on after working all day in that mill.
Well, I guess, if you're working in a mill with dangerous machines, you might want to not wear a ring because you wouldn't want to get it caught in the machinery, right?
Yeah.
Just thinking, could be.
Then they say they wouldn't change anything if they knew what was going to happen, all that blah, blah, blah. So she goes off to bed and he says he's going to go, he's going to look over the book some more. We could skip ahead a little bit here. He's looking at the ring here.
Yeah.
This right here. This is what was where we could predict exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the mystery of the episode completely left at this point.
But
you know what was going to happen. You knew who was going to accuse him of what, and you knew who the actual guilty party was. All from just seeing one ring.
But you know, the weird thing was when I watched this, I didn't really think about that. I thought he's just looking at the ring like as a sentimental object that he'll probably put back, in the box. And I should have realized. I mean, at the end of the episode, I totally realized that was the key scene that told everything. But I'm glad that I actually didn't clue in because it made the episode much more suspenseful for me to watch, and I love the tension of the episode. So I'm glad I didn't clue in. But you're right; it's totally a giveaway, right? So yeah,
Oh, they didn't show the clock, but the clock, he's up after midnight. That's when he pulls the ring out. I must have missed that there. I was going to try to show they really pointed at the clock and they pointed at the ring like significantly. Like he's looking at the ring. It holds a lot of value to him, and he's staying up late trying to, like, he's running out of time trying to figure out what to do because the
yeah,
insurance is due, the mortgage is I don't know, the property taxes are due, the electric bill's due. He needs new tires, so those tires are
yeah,
as bald as can be.
yeah, and new tires too, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they're as bald as can be.
So he is literally running out of time. Yeah, that's kind of brilliant, actually, when you think about it. Yeah, pretty awesome
Yeah.
stuff.
Then here's the new park came in. So he's gonna run over the Claybournes, and John Boy's gonna finish up the gardening. Which I don't see why Mary Ellen can't be doing the gardening. Of course, John might be trying to keep his mind off of things, but this was a very good scene right here where John Boy wants to pick up the. He wants to go over and fix it. He goes, "I'm sure you can." He goes, "It's very tricky. I'll do it." During the summer, he'll start teaching him how to go do all these side jobs and stuff. But he says that things haven't been this bad, have they? He goes, "Nope, they're pretty bad, aren't they?" Because they keep saying how broke they are, and they need these tires because they can't deliver the wood. They'll go under. The tires are the most important thing. The property taxes can wait, and the insurance can wait. But if they can't get new tires, they can't deliver.
Well, yeah, if you don't have an income, good luck on having the outcome. Money going out, right? So yeah, it's like that. The tires are the key. Like, and it was always the Waltons, mill, wood shop that kept everything going in this show, right? Pretty much. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's their only income except for their. And Cam says, "Hello, everyone." He goes, "Poor John Boy."
Hello.
Isn't that redheaded brother and not the John Boy? No, that's John Boy that's on the screen right now. The redheaded one is Ben.
Jim Bob.
No, Jim Bob's the little one.
He is?
Jim Bob's the
Okay.
youngest boy. Jim Bob's the youngest boy. Ben's the redhead. Then the other one's Jason, and then we all know John Boy.
Well,
That's
it's
really
John Boy, Jason, Ben, and then Jim Bob. If I got that order correct, I lose track.
yeah. Well,
There's too many of them.
Well, Jason and Ben, I don't know what order they are in, but I know Mary Ellen's older sister. Then goes Erin, which is the sister that nobody ever wants because she's a tattletale. And then there's Elizabeth, the redheaded freckled child.
Yeah, Elizabeth, the little tiny one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's only 6. And
Well, yeah.
Cam says at the Gorilla Resolute PvP, hail gents. And I guess
Hello.
he forgot Daniel's on the Daniel's here too. But okay. So yeah, so he's gonna go over there, and so he gets it fixed, and then him and Dewey go push it back. That's kind of funny. Go here, let me help you with that. Let's split the sweat. I thought that's pretty. I kind of got a smile out of me on that one. But the one thing I noticed about a lot of these shows like this, that all the help is always African people, African Americans.
Well, back then it probably was, to be honest, Gorilla, from what I've
Yeah.
observed over the years.
Be
They
honest,
were
a lot of it still is.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I'm not one of those rich folks, so I wouldn't know because I have no servants. But it seems like everything I've watched over the years is always a black person that's in the servant position, so to speak. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And Cam
They
says, sorry, Daniels. Greetings, brother.
the thing is, around that area, it's still, quite frankly, it's the only difference between now and before the Civil War is a paycheck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the thing that the whites and the blacks have in common, they don't trust the browns.
Yeah, but at least in this show, or at least it was in this show that though all the people who are the servants and all that and doing all the odd jobs where people happen to be black, they still showed them with respect. They still showed respect to them.
Yeah.
That was also the Waltons, though. It was one of those rare shows that I can't think of too many episodes where there was any big hate for anybody, really. It's a very civilized show, so I think maybe sometimes it's a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit innocent, for lack of a better word, but I still do love it for that reason, probably, because it's one series that never seems to get really harsh, you know, on any of the characters, which I kind of enjoy, actually.
Yeah, and Cam says, "Gotta pay your taxes." Yeah, but if you can't get if they can't deliver wood, they can't get the money to pay their taxes.
That's okay. The government will take body parts, preferably whole.
And
I guess that's why John sold his ring, because he didn't want to lose any body parts.
they said, nativity.
Yeah, that's a good word. I can't pronounce it, but it's a good word.
Naivete.
Yeah, and this one apparently Mrs. Claybourne insists that they go have teas because she's so lonely because no one visits them. Well, since her husband passed away, I wonder why.
Did you get the feeling this was a weird scene when she's going, have some of this, have some of that, did you get the feeling she was, she's saying she has nobody in her life or whatever? It was almost like she was kind of hitting on John a little bit, which was weird, but it was kind of a weird vibe in this scene. Did you guys get that?
I didn't get that feeling though, but she says that nobody stops by. See, they come from a family with money, and all their friends in that revolved around Mr. Claybourne. And when he passed away, all of a sudden all those friends kind of disappeared because they won't stay. They'll be with you in the good times, but they will not be with you in the bad times. If that makes sense.
They're an entourage.
They're sheltered.
They're an entourage,
even
not
as a grown
friends.
woman.
Well, yeah, she's so sheltered, it's scary, actually, which we find out towards the end of the episode. But yeah, this scene kind of gave me weird vibes, actually, because she was like, it must be nice to have so much to do in a day. It's like, not really, lady. Try living in the real world when you're running your ass off just to try to keep up with the day's events, right?
Well, this is this is where you get your social justice warriors, because she's never had to work a day in her life, A lot of these social justice warriors are these white suburban women whose husbands bring home 6 figures in a year, so all they do is sit at home on their ass, and in order for themselves to feel better and make themselves feel better, they have to go fight for a cause, and that's where all these issues of today are starting to pop up. That's from these people who have nothing better to do than to go cause the issues that they claim to be fighting.
Well, it's like,
and that's why we don't need the 19th as it is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like these rich ladies being looked after. It's almost like high class prostitution or something. Really, they're kind of like paid ladies, if you know.
They're called gold diggers.
Gold diggers, that's the word.
Yeah, and Pop says they're called fair weather friends. Yep.
Yeah. You got that right.
Now we're.
Oh, by the way, did anybody notice that Daniel dropped out a while ago?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's gone. He went. I think he dropped out like 3 or 4 minutes ago, but I didn't want to
Yeah.
interrupt the conversation
Oh,
here.
I've been on the other thing there, but
Oh well, maybe he
but
had something come up that he had to take care of. I don't know.
yeah, maybe. Uh, Cam says yes, makes total sense. People shed when they can't take advantage. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I learned over the years is don't be too generous to some people because they'll just take advantage of you, and then once they got what they wanted, they're like, "See you later."
Yeah. See, because
Yeah,
I don't think she was flirting with him. I think what it is she's longing for a friend, and she feels that John will be that be that friend.
could be. Yeah,
Even though, and because he feels bad, he has to leave her, but he has shit to do. He has to go. He has to make ends meet
exactly.
because her boy skimped out on him. But
Well,
Jo-
John's a hardworking guy every day of his life, just to provide for the family, right? And I think she even mentions that in this scene that
Yeah.
he's got a family to provide for. So, but it's just like she's like I wish I had something to do during the day. I wish I had it's like she has nothing to do. She has nobody to talk to. She's got a really she
Because
might be she's
her
privileged,
life
but
revolved around her husband and
he's
doing what she
gone.
needed to do for his social life, his business, and whatnot. And when he died,
Yeah.
her purpose died with him.
Exactly.
yeah,
She's very privileged in this beautiful mansion, but her life is completely empty of any real meaning, which is very sad, really.
yeah,
Then again, though, she could have, when he died, she could have started to try and do something with her life, and she didn't. So I can only feel so sorry for her, not totally sorry.
At
yeah.
that
She
time,
has.
there was nothing to do. Is the children are grown. He's gone. She's
Well, yeah,
never had the ability to manage the house on her own, and her son's already doing that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
She
you
her,
is
notice all
literally
this.
doing all she is capable of.
Yeah,
but her son will
and
be
you know.
married. Her son will be
Oh,
married soon. Her daughter will be off to college in a year. It's like she's really in a bad, bad place.
Well, the son
uh,
isn't going anywhere.
well, if he gets married, he probably won't live with mom.
nah, he'll stay there, take care
No,
of her.
mom will live with him and the new wife
Possibly. I
because
have
it's
no
his
idea.
it's his house, not her house.
Oh, I guess that's probably true. Yeah.
It was
Uh,
probably legal by then for her to own the house, but it wouldn't be appropriate for her to own or run the house.
like she could probably still make the rules, but I don't know how that how the inheritance is. I think because I'm pretty sure women did inherit everything once the husband died and all that. But
By default, unless he had a will, by default, if his son was of age, it would go into him.
yeah,
I
oh
guess
yeah,
it would depend on how the will was written too, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Cam, yeah, we understood what you were saying. It's that damn autocrat. But anyhow, you notice all the silver that she pulled out the best silver for him. I don't know
Oh
if they
yeah.
always use silver and stuff. I wonder how healthy that is. Storing your food and drinking from silver is. Isn't there a thing like silver poisoning where the crap from silver can leach off into your food and drink and
Oh,
poison you?
I know there's lead poisoning. It used to be
Only
in
if it's
lead
impure.
pipes. I don't think silver would be that major a problem, though. I wouldn't think.
Fine silver, if you don't use toxic polish, which is what a lot of people do. And if it's pure silver, you're fine. You're good. There's silver in your blood to begin with.
Yeah, and doesn't pewter? I know they stopped using pewter because it was bad for you.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, I would think silver would be fine as long as you only polish the outside, not the inside. So,
And don't use it all that. Well, I don't. I guess it wouldn't be much different than our plastic cups and porcelain cups.
That's the thing. I often wonder how much poisoning I'm getting from my plastic kettle every morning.
Plastic kettle?
Plastic kettle. Plastic kettle. I
You
have a
may
cheap.
need to see poison control.
I have a cheap plastic kettle. So
Oh, please tell me the inside's lined with like metal or something.
nope, it's just plastic. A lot of the
Yeah, you're
kettles
gonna want
are.
to call poison control.
Oh
No,
my god! Because
yeah.
because every time when you heat up, there's a reason why you don't store like the why like you'll never see like the cases of water stored outside or anything at places that always is in the shade, because once that plastic starts heating up, the was it BPD that's what it's called, germ that leaches into the drinks into the drinks.
Not quite sure what it was called.
Yeah, it's like
I know they
B.
went crazy about it in the 90s and in the 2000s.
Well, I don't know. I've been basically. I think my family's used kettles that are basically plastic based for like decades, and I just had a bunch of health tests done a few months ago, and everything was fine. So I don't know. Doesn't seem to be an issue for me.
Well, it depends who's paying the bill. Whether or not you're fine or not.
Yeah, you are Canadian. The health system may say, "Oh yeah, you're fine," and you got a pound or so of plastic in your colon. They just, yeah, we'll tell him when he's dead.
Well, I had a colonoscopy back in January, and everything. Well, they removed a few polyps, but everything was good. So no plastic though.
Yeah, Cam says heavy metals.
I don't know. I should probably
Yeah.
get a fancy kettle one of these days, but it's like,
Yeah, cast
fuck
iron.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, he has to take off. Then she
Oh
goes,
yeah.
"We will show you out." They picks up this. This is where they're trying to throw you off. He picks up this silver thing here. We know the episode's called the Fault, and let's play it.
The theft.
He's just staring at it like he's just going like fancy ass fucking rich people.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I.
but
Yeah. I thought he was just thinking, oh, these people got so much and we got so little. I wasn't ever, convinced he was going to actually, steal it.
yeah, but they wanted to throw you off the scent here from the whole
Oh,
ring thing.
it was a great, sideline throw off kind of moment. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because the next thing you see, he's getting these two brand new tires with good tread and stuff. Or would those be used ones?
I think they look used. I think to me, but used tires, I guess, they can be okay. I guess if you got a trusty dealer you're dealing with, which I imagine John does. So
No, this guy, I don't know if I try. He could be like Speedy's there.
they
By
don't
that,
look
I
like
mean, I'd never take my car to him.
they don't look like the best tires, but they look like they'll do kind of tires.
No, they look pretty decent.
Yeah, they
But
look okay.
he goes, "Well, we can put them on for 2 pence a piece." And he goes, "I'll do it myself."
I like that. John's such a do it yourselfer. It's great.
Well, what I want to know is why the hell would it take an hour to switch out the tires?
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
That
And
could change.
And the thing is, if you're making 2 bits a tire per hour, it's like 50 cents to spend an hour of your time. I don't know. That seems like not a great payday to me.
Well, I could get them to switch out my tires for $5 a piece, and it goes up to $12 if they have to take it off the vehicle. But otherwise, they'll switch the rims out for $5 here. But the thing is, it only takes us 5 minutes there if the tire's already off the car. But it shouldn't take no hour because I can change a tire on a car in 5 minutes, and that's with the hand,
Wow.
and that's with the scissor jack.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Wow.
Yeah, but they're taking it off the rim. He ain't
Yeah,
buying
but
new rims.
it still shouldn't take that long. Remember back in the day when tires used to be solid instead of pumped up with air?
Actually, I don't
Yeah,
think I
that's
do.
not that. That's not what these are. These have air in it.
Yeah, I know, but those tires lasted forever, and then they switched to these ones with air in them.
I think I've always had tires with air. Actually, come to think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
The
when
solid tires have, at least with vehicles, they have trouble over a quarter ton, depending on the
do
material they're made of.
Okay.
Rubber doesn't do great under that much. That's why your tire isn't just solid rubber. There's metal strips and a whole bunch of other stuff in there.
Mesh in there, metal mesh.
Yeah. There's
So
like
modern
a dozen
tire.
different components in your tires.
So modern tires are like a combination of different materials. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cam here said, "Hi, Pop." And he goes, "It's bedtime for Bonzo. Cheers, gents." Well, you have a good night there, Cam.
Nighty Cam.
Sleep well.
Good night, Bonzo.
Bedtime for Bonzo. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, oh. So John pays for him, So then they go to this scene here, going, "Where's my goblets? I can't find my damn 2 goblets there." He goes, "Well, maybe it's upstairs." The other guy goes, with all the old silver there. He goes, "I would believe that if I didn't see it just last week." So apparently now their goblets are missing.
You know what really got me about this scene when the mother started bitching? It was like, "Hey, lady, you live in a high class mansion. You got a manservant. You're paying, I assume, to be a manservant. Uh, you know, you got food on the table. You didn't have to work a day in your life to get it, and you're bitching about a couple of goblets. It's like, okay, I don't care if there's, their revolution, age, and they're in this, another couple in the Smithsonian or whatever. It's like, lady, you're so privileged and you're bitching about a couple of missing items. Like, reality check, badly needed. Seriously,
Yeah, but
she's just whining terribly here.
it's her family stuff, and it is disappearing, But what got me here is she goes, "Well, the only person that's been here is John, except for the family and all that there." I was like, it had to be John. I was like, no, you got 4 other options here.
Well, personally, I think since the son only paid John $1 for his labor and his time, I think they should have given one of those silver items to John as payment. That would have been more classy, right?
Yeah, but she doesn't
But that would have really screwed him over.
Yeah, here's
one
the
of
thing.
Those goblets probably keeps him going for maybe a month.
No, here's the thing.
I think John Walton's a man that deserves to, get a reward for his labors.
Well, here's the spoiler alert for them in the episode there, but they're so poor, and he's trying to hide it from their mom how desperate their situation is. He's trying to hide it from her because he doesn't think she can handle it there because she's been privileged all her life.
Well, that's the great payoff.
He ain't entirely wrong.
The daughter knows what's going on because she started cooking to save him money on a cook. He started doing the gardening and all that to save him money on a gardener and all that.
Yeah.
This guy here, you go, "Come on, man, we've been good to you, haven't we? Just let us cut your salary in half, maybe. Come on, man." That's what they probably do.
The thing is, they're all kind of complicit in protecting the mother from reality. So they're all a little bit guilty when you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they mean well, right? They have good hearts and they have good intentions, but overall, it leads to a very harmful situation. And John Walton, unfortunately, is the fallout. He has to kind of pay for what they've been trying to do to protect the mom, right? So yeah.
And Pop says later, Cam. And Cam says, my phone is dying. Catch y'all later. Have fun. You too. You have a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Good night, Cam.
All right. So then John comes home and he has to do tires and all that. Yeah. And she goes, where have you been? I've been looking for you. He goes, oh, the front tire and the spare gave out on me. I had to go get a couple of new ones. He goes, well, does that mean you actually paid more for your work? He goes, no. And she goes, well, where'd you get the money? I don't want to talk about it. Here's a gift to forget about where I got the money. And apparently got her some cloth that's the same color as her eyes. But he goes, he doesn't want to tell her just yet what he had to do.
Yeah, I think he bought the cloth for Olivia out of guilt because, selling his wedding ring was a pretty big step for him to do. He was so desperate, though. I think John basically that night sitting looking at the ring, he was like, I got to do this. I don't want to do this. I hate to do this. This means so much in my life. This ring, it means everything, my union with my lovely wife. But he's like, I got to do it. I got to get those tires. I got to provide, deliver the wood. I got to deliver it to my customers and keep my family, fed. And so that's what happened, right?
Well, Olivia needed more cloth to
He
fix.
shouldn't have felt bad about it either.
Yeah, well, he had to get more cloth. She needed more cloth too to fix because her dresses were getting too raggedy, and she didn't have any cloth to fix them.
Yeah, John is a good man. I mean, he had a good soul, but he was in a dire situation, and he did what he had to do, but he didn't feel good about it because he wouldn't talk about it through the last half of the episode, right?
Yeah. And so now we got Stuart Lee coming home, and she goes, those goblets are missing. I just know John took them. You go get Sheriff Briggs. You call up Sheriff Briggs there, but he's trying to go, well, wait till morning, but she's not having it. It could be hawked by morning. So he goes off and calls Sheriff Briggs. I can't remember. Did they have a house phone, or did he have to go? Did they have a house phone? Oh yeah, they do. So yeah, that's right there. They're just blocking it. I can remember because like the Waltons, they need to make a phone call. They gotta go down to Ike. Then Ike has to run up and pass the message on blah 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 to them. And here we have Sheriff Briggs' car, which I could probably run on foot. Then Sheriff Briggs comes in. I'll play the scene.
Where'd you go after you left Claybourne's today?
Why are you asking that?
Did you head for Charlottesville?
It's kind of a strange question, Ed.
Well, Charlottesville, it doesn't seem like that big of a town, but it must be a town that can do everything.
Well, the key point is it's a town and not the backwoods, which is where they are.
Well, I just left the Claybourne place, and they've got 2 silver goblets missing.
Yeah?
And just John boys just wondering what the heck's going on here. Here or there. But I wonder how much those silver goblets would have been worth, to be honest. They're pure silver, and depending if they're antiques or not. And how much is the person that they're selling it to is going to jip them?
Well, John, it seems that you're the only caller since Mrs. Claybourne last saw those goblets. Well, she sent for me, and...
Uh-huh.
I think he's starting to put 2 and 2 together right there before he even flat out says it.
Well, John, all I got to know is where you spent 3 hours this afternoon.
Sheriff, you know my daddy well. I don't think that's any of your business, Ed.
Now, John, I've got to tell the Claybourne something. You tell me what to say.
You tell him it's my private business what I was doing.
I'm afraid that's not going to be acceptable.
What do you mean?
Would that be considered entrapment, or is it, or could that be a sign of guilt that he's hiding something?
No, it's just a fair question from one friend to another.
Okay, because nowadays they tell you don't say anything to the police because it can and will be used against you in the court.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
Miranda rights were not invented in 1934.
Yeah, this was before Miranda rights.
Yeah,
as
they
far
came
as I
around
know.
in '63 or
Probably.
something like that.
Much later, yeah.
No, but you can remain. But you still had. I thought. Oh wait, so you didn't have the right to remain silent? I thought that was part of the Fifth Amendment.
Well, John
You
did
have the
remain
right
silent,
to do whatever
basically.
you want.
I
You
think
can
this
talk, you can not talk.
is one of my favorite. I think this is one of my favorite episodes I've watched so far because we usually see John Walton as kind of a mild mannered, decent family guy going about his business, working hard. And in this episode, he really gets like pissed off in this scene, right? And I thought it was great watching it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
why I'm showing it. Just to
I
shows
loved
how,
it. Yeah.
just shows
Well,
how much he is.
What he means is he thinks maybe I'm lying about something or covering up something.
John, all I'm saying is Mrs. Claybourne feels you might have taken the goblet. You drove into Charlottesville and you hawked them.
Now, you know that's not what happened.
I like how they used the term hawked instead. They must not have had pawn shops back then.
I don't believe
Well-
they were called pawn shops at the time, no.
Man,
it was-
they used the term hawk shop, so I'm guessing that's the predecessor to pawn shops.
Same kind of idea, basically, I guess. Yeah. You'd take an item in, you'd get money for it, and you'd have so many days to pay it back and get it out of hawk, right?
Yeah.
And I think
All
they
I'm
do.
asking, John,
I think the term pawn shops, there's still the term hawk when you're dealing with a pawn shop, even these days.
Okay, this is like one of the few times I've actually heard the term.
It's very
Oh.
regional.
I've heard the term putting it in hawk many times in my life. So, yeah, I guess it is regional.
Yeah.
John, it's for you to clear yourself.
I don't have to clear myself with anybody, and I'm not going to.
Sheriff, you know my daddy's not going to take any goblets. That should be enough.
John, boy, I've known your daddy a lot longer than you have. I would never have believed any man could even imply he was a thief without John letting that man have it.
All right, Ep, I think it's time we said goodnight.
I don't
You know, that's the one thing. Calling John a thief would be the equivalent of people calling you a racist a few years ago. Nowadays, it don't mean shit, but a few years ago, before everybody started going freaking nuts, the equivalent of calling someone a racist is just as big of an insult calling him a thief. And that's why he just love how he just gets angry that he's implying that he's a thief. And really, I think if it was anybody else, they'd be sitting in the back of the squad car. But Sheriff Briggs there has known John almost his entire life, so he's not going to put him in the squad car unless he absolutely has to.
Well, also, he's got no real evidence that John stole anything at this point, right?
Yeah, but I see people arrested for less.
like this, John. Won't you say something to clear yourself?
No.
Daddy, why don't you just tell me?
Go in the house, John boy. I'm not going to talk about this anymore, Ep. Now, good night.
John.
I got nothing more to say, Ep. Good night.
Anyone else, he would have ran
Good
him
night,
in.
John. I'm around if you need me.
Yeah. Anybody else would have been in the back of the squad car downtown for further questioning.
Well, I guess it helps when the sheriff is a personal friend that you know.
Yeah. It ain't like
Obviously, right?
Chicago. It ain't like Chicago where they'll take you off to a black site and beat the shit out of you with a bag over your head.
Well, I'm glad I don't live in Chicago now.
Oh yeah, the cops. If you get on if you piss the cops off, they'll take you to these black sites, put a bag over your head, beat the shit out of you, and there's then they'll be like no proof of it.
That's the Blackhawks fans.
And
the cops, they'll just go away and let the less questionable members of society deal with themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, Pop says they're called pawn shops. You hawk your items there. But were they still called that in 34? In the 30s and stuff? I didn't know if they were called that in the 30s or not. But it's the same concept.
Pop's got it totally right, though, at least these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is one of my favorite moments of the episode coming up here.
Right here?
Yep.
Thought I told you go in the house.
Daddy,
Go in the house like I told you now!
Sir.
And see, that's where I was saying John's so pissed off and accused of calling a thief there that he snaps at his son.
Yeah,
And he
I
never does apologize.
I can't remember. Did he ever snap with John Boy like that in another episode? Like, that was intense. Like, usually they have a good relationship, and John just turned and he totally lost his control there with John Boy. And I was like, wow, this is really an incredible moment in the Waltons.
No, every episode we've had has always been a heart-to-heart talk, until now he just snaps at him.
Yeah, usually they get along really well, right, as father and son, but it was actually almost scary. I almost thought he was going to slap John Boy or something for a second there, before John Boy, luckily buggered off real quickly. But yeah, that was a great scene. That was an excellent scene.
Then Grandpa and Grandma, they're sitting there talking, wondering where he got the money, and they come up with he won the money playing poker and all that. And Grandpa ran some. Me and Germ were talking about this when we were watching it together there, so I watched this twice there. Grandpa ran some great interference on this.
Yep. Old Zeb figured it out before anyone else even knew what was going on.
What Zeb? Oh, I thought Zeb thought he was playing poker too.
Zeb knew he wasn't doing anything like poker. He knew his son isn't a thief, so that only leaves something. He put 2 and 2 together. John had to hawk something that he cared a lot about, and that the woman folk would not understand him hawking.
Yeah. But anyhow, he goes and get caught up on the days, and they're playing for food and tires and stuff. He's throwing them on the scent. Now, it was kind of funny there. He goes, I put a new leg on the chair. There goes, why? Because the old one was falling apart. And he says their table's crooked because he could never cut a leg too short. So the table is crooked. But anyhow, he told them they were playing for tires and that, so he's trying to throw them off the scent, and
because he is a good grandfather, he knows his role in that family, and he plays it to perfection.
Oh yeah, it's kind of funny. He has blackmail on everybody in town.
Well, that's what happens when you get to be that age. If you don't go senile, you remember shit people did 50 years ago.
Oh no, he knew what that one conductor was doing every Thursday night. In that one episode was like the third that episode with the carnies when they're sticking him on there. He goes, "I just happen to know that a case of that of the recipe goes out on the train every Thursday night."
Yeah, who you think helps the Baldwin sisters load that up?
Yeah. It's like he has black. Now, what was this scene about? Germ, do you remember the scene?
Yeah, I believe he's arguing with Livy.
Well,
no, wait. They don't believe that John stole anything. He just told them go calm down the brothers and sisters because they all know something's up.
Yeah. Go talk to the rest of the family and try and convince them that everything's okay. I think is the general gist of what Ma Walton told John Boy, but of course it doesn't quite go that way.
Yeah, Mary Ellen got upset about something like she normally does. I lose track of what I lose track of what she's always crying about. She's always crying about something.
When I listen to Mary Ellen in an episode, it makes me glad to be single, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh wait, Mary Ellen was someone wouldn't talk to her, and John Boy said, "Well, I'll look better because I can't." Some girl wouldn't talk to her.
She's a pessimist, though. Mary Ellen is always bitching about something, it seems.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a teenage years
I
hitting
guess.
puberty.
Yeah, but John Boy's a teenager, and he's not pessimistic.
Right, yeah, he's past the puberty stage, and now I don't remember this scene.
Well, Mary Ellen's like all confused about what's going on with Pa and that kind of general stuff.
Yeah, and Olivia's like he'll tell us when he's ready, and John Boy's kind of in the same boat, but he still doesn't quite understand. So Sheriff Spriggs is trying to tell her, are you sure it couldn't be anybody else? Or are you sure you just didn't misplace him? Because if it's anybody but John, I'd believe you. But come on, it's John. He wouldn't steal anything there. And she goes, he's the only one in the house. He's the only one that could have done it. I was like, and this whole time I was thinking, I kind of put two and two together right away. What was going on there? It was very predictable, but it's like you got three other suspects right there that could have. For all we know, the son had a crack or a coke habit there, and he pawned the stuff to supply his habit. Well, actually, back then it'd probably be a drinking habit. I don't think they had cocaine back then.
Oh yeah.
No,
The son was probably paying the Baldwin sisters for the remedy.
yeah, he could have had a recipe problem.
Yeah, get that recipe over here, girls.
Oh yeah, Coca-Cola started with cocaine in it.
It did. It's pretty amazing to think about, but yeah, I remember hearing about that. I like how the sheriff basically tells her, it's like, sorry, lady, but I got no proof that John committed a crime, so I can't much arrest the guy.
Okay, cocaine was invented by a German physician, or isolated purified by a German physician, Karl Kohler, in 1884. Okay, but it goes back to even earlier with the Italians and with the Italians there in South America.
Yeah, I suppose as long as there've been human beings on Earth, they've been finding ways to get high, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's what the peace pipe is. You know that peace pipe, and I got this confirmed from a Native American, or at least nowadays, that their peace pipe is filled with weed.
It sounds all right to me.
Weed or better.
Yeah. But then he just says you don't have enough evidence to arrest him. You can't arrest him with so little. And he just told her, you get the same advice that the cops give you nowadays. Well, just lock your shit up.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you too.
Secure your goods. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he said, "Fuck you, just lock your shit up."
Oh, and here's another scene that tells us a little bit more information.
Yeah. Well, apparently she was tired of going to a private school and all that, which I called bullshit on that right away. Exactly. I don't know about you, Germ.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Every plot point in here is pretty transparent.
Yeah, but he goes, even under circumstances, there, I'd be obliged if you keep an eye out after Amelia for me. I would have told him to go F himself personally, but John Boy says he'll do it. He's too nice of a guy.
Girl, you wouldn't say go F yourself. You would try to go F the sister.
Yeah, but you can still tell the brother to go F himself and still fuck the sister.
I gotta say, I
gotta give you a little bit of credit.
I gotta say, I did find the sister kind of attractive. She's got those kind of eyes that appeal to me, to be honest.
Yeah, and actually, that would be the ultimate at go F yourself right there.
Well, I'm just glad John Boy didn't say that.
Well, John Boy's a lot politer than I am.
That might hurt the episode a little bit.
Well, John Boy's a lot politer than I am.
Well, John Boy's
Apparently-
always polite. Yeah.
To hear everybody's all quiet there. I was
Why is
playing.
everybody
Oh
so
yeah,
quiet?
this is yeah.
Where's John Boy?
He said he wasn't hungry.
Well, I did say, why does everybody look like they're going to a funeral? I missed that part when I was trying
Yeah.
to think.
Daddy, probably have something later.
This isn't a restaurant, you know. Your mother's got enough to do without feeding people twice.
Well, we always had that. We had to come sit down for supper, and we couldn't be excused until our mom was done eating. Like everybody had to stay. My mom was the slowest eater, so we couldn't leave the table until mom was done eating unless she was going really slow that day, or she was having a bad day with her MS. But nobody was allowed to leave the table. And if you didn't finish your supper, you didn't get nothing later. Your plate will be left on the stove. You can have more. You can eat it later. There's only one time. Oh, what was that?
I think if I remember back as a kid and teenager, we'd have supper around supper hour kind of thing, right? And I think I probably generally ate pretty much everything on my plate. I don't think I usually left too much on the plate because, man, food was good back then, though, right? I mean,
Well,
you
it depends on what was for supper. It depends on how much I'd eat, but there's only one time I can remember that we didn't actually have to eat our supper because Mom way oversalted it, and all you could taste was the damn salt.
Yeah.
So Dad says I'm not going to make him eat it.
Yeah,
they can go fend for yourself. It turned into a fend for yourself night, but once I got older, when I could start working and all that, I especially made sure to be working on the night that it was hot tuna night and tomato hot dish night.
Oh, okay. Tuna's good. Yeah.
Not the hot tuna buns. I hate mayo. So whenever I knew my mom was going to make hot tuna buns, it's basically mix up some mayonnaise.
What type of savage heats up tuna?
Oh, I put tuna. I put tuna in macaroni and cheese.
Tuna buns are great. You mix them up. It's like eggs, mayonnaise, tuna. You mix it all up, and you put it in a bun, and you bake it in the oven for like 15 minutes, and it's fantastic.
Oh dear God!
Oh, next time we'll make them, I'll mail them to you.
It's really good. It's really good. You should try it, man. It's really good. I haven't had tuna buns in ages, but yeah,
you gotta like mayo. You gotta like mayo.
Yeah, if you don't like mayo, forget it. But it's like tuna, eggs, mayo, and onions. Shredded onions. You got to shred the onions up and put them in too.
Oh, we did put onions in ours because mom didn't like them, and my stomach doesn't like them.
Yeah, well, I sacrifice my stomach for the onions, but you got to shred them real fine, right? So they cook. Actually, what I do is I fry the onions up in a frying pan first to get them thoroughly cooked, until they're transparent, and then I put them in the bun and put the tuna bun in the oven. So.
Okay.
You want to know where John Boy is down at the farm? He got in a fight today because people were saying bad things about you.
Oh man, my parents would not tolerate that sass. I guarantee you, my ass would be on that floor if I talked to my dad like that.
Yeah,
my ass would be on the floor.
I agree. She's at it once again. Boy, she's got an attitude in this episode.
Yeah, but if I would talk to my parents like that, my ass would have been on that floor. My dad would knock my ass on that floor.
Would that happen with your sister? That's the key difference. Would your sister be unconscious on the floor?
Depends on which one it was. My oldest sister, yeah. My middle sister, I don't know. So anyhow, John Boy goes out to talk to John Boy here, and everybody else just keeps eating. I want to play this scene here because we had some insights on this here.
Thought maybe you'd like to talk.
Maybe I'm too angry to talk right now.
Angry at who?
You?
Hey, at least he's being honest. And John Boy's taking the correct approach to this instead of what Mary Ellen did.
Yeah.
John asked him a question, and he just flat out said yes to it.
But he is sure focused on half of a clamp.
Oh shit. I'm wondering though in that scene, what's John Boy doing with the vice? Like, it seems like he's doing something, but I have no idea.
He
what the hell.
was tightening a vice that did not have a back end. At least it didn't appear so in that one.
It's like I'm gonna go out in the shed in the barn and tighten a vice for a while because I'm angry.
He's just hiding away. He's just hiding away.
Look, son.
Oh, I gotta rewind this because I screwed up.
No, that's right where you.
No, this is a really good scene.
I know it.
Look, son. Maybe I wasn't right sending you in the house like that last night.
Would that count as an apology?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. You know what I love about this scene is they're both pissed off at each other. They're obviously both still really angry, and obviously they don't. John Boy doesn't understand what's going on, and John doesn't want to still talk about it. But they can, they're angry at each other, but they're still respectful, right? They're still disagreeing. They're still, not seeing eye to eye, but they're not attacking each other. They're still giving each other, space, so to speak. And I think that's really great writing. I wish we saw writing like this nowadays. When I watch the Waltons, that's one thing I'm always reminded of is how good the writers were on this show. And I love this scene.
Yeah, I don't know if this is where I'm hoping that the writer's strike lasts just long enough that they hire new writers.
Well, I hope they all
long enough for it to collapse.
I hope they all quit and we get some good writers back. That would be nice.
Or they get so demanding they say, "Fuck it, stay on the picket line. We'll hire new people."
Well, yeah, we can always hope, right? But yeah.
Maybe.
You want me to tell you I didn't take the Claybourne silver?
Daddy, I know you didn't take the Claybourne silver. What I don't understand is why you don't trust me the way I'm supposed to trust you.
He has a good point there. This is where me and Germ were talking about this backstage. This is where John should have just said, "Don't tell your mama, but this is what I had to do. But don't tell your mama, it'll break her heart."
Yeah, I don't know why he couldn't have confided in John Boy at this point and told him to just be quiet about it. It's like, I did this, and don't tell Mom. I will tell her soon on my own, but you keep your mouth shut, but I will tell you.
Yeah. And he has to do it in a southern accent.
I think, though, it's obviously for dramatic purposes that they play the scene out the way they do, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I found out? You know the guy that plays John here?
Yeah.
Ralph Waite? He is actually Gibson's father in NCIS. I never realized that.
Again, a show I know literally nothing about.
Yeah, well, Gibbs is the main character there. His father makes an appearance like every once in a while. I never realized that was Ralph Waite. He's really short in that episode, and a lot chubbier than he is. Than he looks in the.
Ralph Waite was in NCIS. I don't remember that one. I must have missed it.
He plays Gibbs's father.
Really? Okay.
That is Ralph Waite.
I haven't seen that show in so long. I totally forget that.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever seen that. The father episodes didn't show up till like later, but his father played the.
Is that a later season? Because I kind of watched it for like the first 6 or 7 years. I loved it, but it's like, damn, that show went for like what, 20 years? After a while, I just got burned out. I was like, I can't keep watching this. It's just like too long, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's like
Gunsmoke.
Oh, you're kidding. God, it must be like 25 years it's been on then.
Yeah,
It started in the 90s, right?
Looks like his first episode was season 6.
I might have seen that then, actually.
Season 6, episode 4:11. Oh, he wasn't in that many episodes there. He might have passed. They might have killed him off in the show there, but it looks like he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 appearances.
That's quite a few. That's pretty good, actually. But yeah, I can't. I haven't watched NCIS in probably 10 years, so I can't remember. It's been too long. I liked the show though. I liked it in its early seasons, but it's any show that goes. It's like Gunsmoke, right? It's like 22 years of Matt Dillon. I mean, Gunsmoke is a fun show, but how many times do I honestly need to see Matt Dillon strap on his guns and keep the town safe? It's like after a while, it's just like I think I've seen enough of this.
I know. Well, at least NCIS has a habit of they killed off their favorite characters, and then because they got rid of Ziva, and that was everybody's favorite there. Then all of a sudden, because of let's say some accusations against the guy who plays Gibbs there. Apparently, something about unwanted touching or something there. Abby, the gal who played Abby, quit. So then they got the gal who was like, "Oh, fuck you, I quit."
Oh yeah, I used to really dig Abby because she was kind of hot, and then I stopped watching when she was still on the show, but I heard like a season or two after I stopped that she'd quit, and I was like, well, there's one more reason not to watch it.
Then you seen Gibbs' father. He just showed up in like 9 episodes. So,
oh well, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
Yeah.
There's something bothering me, son, and I'm not ready to talk about it, so I'm not going to.
Well, I don't understand that because that's exactly what you'd expect from me. You'd expect me to talk about it.
I have a right to make my own decisions in my own time.
I got into a fight for you today, and I fought for you today, and I feel like a fool, and now you're treating me like Jim Bob.
Maybe that's because you're acting like Jim Bob. Now let's go in the house.
Well, I'll be in soon.
And at that point, my ass would probably be on the floor too. Again, if I just snapped because I couldn't get away with talking to my elders like that, just snapping, even if I was mad.
That's an incredible scene, though. It really is.
The whole thing is John has to decide, is he a boy or is he a man? Once he decides he is a man, there's no going back. You trust him with that sort of stuff, and you can't just, next thing comes around, it's back to you're just like your brother.
Yeah.
I do love the intensity of their exchange in that scene, though. It's like they're really hot under the collar, and yet somehow they control themselves emotionally, even though they're kind of losing it. But I just think that's a great episode in the series for me, or a great scene in the episode. I mean,
yeah, but I still don't know if I still think my ass would be on the floor with that. And is this where he confesses, or what was this?
No,
I think
confessions at the end.
It's in the last couple minutes, actually.
Yeah. So what was this? Or here.
If I just need a little time.
She's trying to figure out what's bothering him. And this is when he goes here. Oh man, another great scene.
Yeah, he's there to collect.
Ain't no different than the rest of us.
What are you blathering about, Dodge?
Who'd have thought that John Walton would end up on the wrong side of the law?
Oh, wait a second, Dodge. You don't have any facts to back up a statement like that.
Why don't you?
Yeah, he's talking shit and they're defending him. That's the only reason John's not. Yeah.
Shut up about things you don't know anything about.
Have to get so touchy, Chef. I just meant it looks like John is the only suspect you got.
Yeah. And see here, this is what it's like living in a small town. Something happens and everybody's talking about it behind your back.
Then it's usually up to the poor sheriff to keep people from going too far.
Yeah, this is it.
Dodge, you get your firewood from John?
So what?
Wouldn't happen to be behind the bill, would you? Huh?
Everybody owes everybody else these days.
Yeah, but not everybody's so quick to think of ways not to have to pay up.
Now look,
Come on, you hold it, guys, okay? I'll buy the pop, all right?
All right.
Hey, right there. That's where the sheriff pretty much just puts him in his place right there. Because apparently back then it was illegal to pay your bills. I wonder if that'd be considered.
It's illegal to pay your bill, not to pay your bills now.
Nah, they just cut you off. They don't allow you to
sue you.
Wow, depends on how much you owe. Like if I didn't pay my internet bill here, they just cut me off until I paid it.
If it's enough money, they sue you.
Oh yeah, but they're not gonna sue me over $162.
Here they just send a collection agency after you if you don't pay them for X number of months.
Yeah, pretty much.
No. Well, good old Mike Godsey. Great character.
Oh, John, I'm buying pop for everybody. You want one?
I
Oh, man.
His car out there. I want to talk to him.
Yeah, he's playing pool with the sheriff.
Another
What?
great scene coming up here.
Yeah, that's why I'm playing it. There. I'm so getting copyright struck tonight. Because fuck you, Warner Brothers. But I'm pushing it tonight.
I got a feeling that this stream won't be on the channel tomorrow.
No, they'll just claim it.
Oh, God.
Right here, he's just coming to collect, going, I want my money. I want my money, bitch. I want my money. Give me my money. Only politely.
Yeah, it's like, pay me, you slimy bastard.
Yeah, just a sec.
Dodge, I've been looking up some of my old customers, see when I might expect some of the pay due me.
Maybe I'll just send it to your lawyer.
What was that, Dodge?
John,
I didn't hear you.
John, come on.
Oh, come on. The sheriff could at least let him get one good punching because that guy deserves to get punched in the face.
I agree.
And back then,
this is great. I love this episode because I can't remember how many times we see John Walton get this close to the edge, right, of actually wanting to punch somebody out. It's a lot of fun.
This is the first time.
It's a lot of fun. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I still say you should have let him punch him in the face once because I don't think they had assault back then, did they? As long as nobody decided to press charges, it's called mutual combat.
I have no idea.
Well, see, this is the problem nowadays. This guy's acting like he was on social media here. Because the problem nowadays is people have gotten so used to being able to run their mouth and not getting punched in the face for it.
That's true.
And here
In
this guy's
situation, it is assault, but since the guy he would have to report the assault to is already there and dealing with it, there's not much more you can do about it.
Well, it's one of
You
those.
don't have the right to overrule your local sheriff.
Hey, my back was turned. I didn't see what happened. It says where it gets by. but no, this guy's acting like yeah, this guy here, he's acting like he's on social media, like he's not going to get punched in the face for running his mouth.
Well, he's just a dumbass. Like, he's so stupid he doesn't think he's going to get punched with the sheriff there, right? And I guess in a way he was right, obviously. But sheriff's only doing his duty. I guess he doesn't want to have to write up a report after.
Well, the sheriff handled this brilliantly right here.
Yeah, I think he did.
Maybe you better get a lawyer. Not paying your bills, that's against the law too. Now go on, get out of here and pay attention to yourself.
He tells them, because since he started the fight and all that, he goes, hey, I'll arrest you for not paying your damn bills. So get the fuck out of here before I write that report up.
Yeah, that was a great scene. Totally. Yeah.
Oh, oops. Wrong button. So I had a message and I accidentally called them. But then the next scene here, I just happens to get a phone call.
Oh yeah. I'm just wondering who was the person making this call is what I'm wondering.
Person in Charlottesville called for the sheriff to acknowledge that John was seen in Charlottesville the other day.
But we never learned we never learned the identity of the caller, did we?
One for you.
It'll say it here in a second.
Sheriff Bridges. Yeah. All of them? All right. Thanks.
All right,
John.
Oh, I better pause it. No, it must be nice being able to hang your cords like that and them not wearing out too fast. So nowadays, if you hold your stuff like by the cord like that, it just snaps after a bit. It doesn't even last that long.
Yeah, shit was made to last back in those days.
Oh yeah.
Hey, when I was a kid in the 60s, I remember my parents had a refrigerator they bought like in 1954 or something. And we had that damn thing running well into the 70s. It must have run for like 25 years and it was perfect. It just ran and ran and ran. And then eventually they got a new fridge because it was the power cost less to run, right? So, yeah.
Oh they don't make shit like they used to.
Oh hell, it was built like a bloody battleship, that fridge.
Because hell, they just tore a house down just in the town south of me there, and they had water heater from the 60s in there.
Wow. Actually, that's interesting you mentioned that, Gorilla, because they just finished demolishing the 3 houses about a block away from me here. I just drove by the other day, and they had a one of those big, I don't know, those big things with a big claw, getting rid of the final part, the concrete foundations from the 3 homes they totaled. They just knocked 3 homes down, and now it's all empty, so there'll be condos going up there in a few months, I'm guessing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hell, the boiler at the school here was at least 50 years old. They don't make shit like that.
No, stuff was much better built back in the old days. Pretty much, a lot of it was really good, high quality. Like my parents' fridge was like solid steel. I'm thinking, right? It was built like a tank.
Yeah, nowadays it's all planned obsolescence.
That's been a thing for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you buy it and 4 years later it dies.
All right.
Those are easily fixed. Most people don't want to fix them.
Yeah.
That phone call said that you were seen in Charlottesville the other day.
What if it was?
But John, I'm not saying you stole anything. But times like these, a man finds himself doing things he never believed he could. I could see myself having to, being tempted.
Well, that's real interesting, that. I sure couldn't.
Right there, he strikes the blow right there and just walks away. That was like almost perfect right there.
It's kind of like a very polite "fuck you, sheriff" moment. It's gold. It's gold. It really is a great scene. Yeah.
The only better go fuck yourself I've probably ever seen is the story about the octopus. There's did you know with octopuses there, when they go to inseminate the female there, they'll actually rip their dick off and throw it at the female for her to insert it themselves there. So that if that's not the most ultimate go fuck yourself, I don't know what is, but this is close behind that.
I'm very glad I'm not an octopus when I hear that story.
Yeah, they regrow.
I would not want to rip my dick off for anything.
Yeah, but they do regrow.
Really? Octopi can regrow their penises?
Yeah.
Invertebrates can regrow just about anything.
I never knew that. Well, I learned something else today again. That's cool.
Yeah, I bet you that's something you didn't think you'd hear on a Walton stream.
No, I bet people rewatching this later won't think of that either. Oh well, we're not your traditional Walton stream review guys. So
hey, we're unprofessional. We're here to have fun and hopefully provide quality entertainment.
Well, if not quality, at least fun.
Yeah. Well, we're unprofessional. I don't categorize these as professional.
Yeah, I'm not really professional on reviewing, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great scene.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna play this one. I've already played, but yeah, they're spying on him, and so Ben comes up there. He's trying to act like he's selling some magazines there, and the mother's like, "Get the fuck out!" Well, ma'am, I'm trying to sell some magazines. Well, fine, I'll have my son tell you to get the fuck out and throw your ass.
Yeah, she's not happy.
Yeah, considering the circumstances. So he comes down and she goes, "I'm trying to sell some magazines for a whole year. You can get all these magazines for $5 a year." And goes, and the guy actually slips up and starts to say, "Well, we can't afford it right now." But they slips up and goes, "Oh, we don't need it." The Ben, I want to show it? No.
Well, we didn't see the shoes. That was the giveaway, right?
Right here.
What is it, Mama? Hello, Ben.
Hi. Son, would you please?
I don't want to show too much. I don't care about the scene. There's just one part of it I want to show.
Yeah, it's not that important.
That he is not welcome here.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
that should be.
Yeah, he's not welcome
Until the situation.
That should be.
Right
yeah,
there.
That's it.
That's your giveaway. That's kind of like up there in the cities. My dad pointed out the one thing you can do when you're dealing with panhandlers, always look at their shoes, because a lot of times they'll wear the brand new comfortable shoes out there. They can tell that they have a lot of money there. They're just being lazy and panhandling here. But this here shows the exact opposite. Their shoes are worn down. Now they're all scuffed up. They're ready to break because they can't afford new shoes.
Yeah,
this is the part I want to show.
They're making those shoes last until the last weeks when they can be shoes, right?
Yeah. So basically, it tells them. So then he goes and Ben here tells them all these. First, he said he was going forward, but he stopped himself. So he asked them not to laugh at him. He talks about their shoes, and John Boy says, "Oh, you just been watching too much TV, see too many movies or something, or heard the TV, blah blah blah."
Yeah, too many.
But then
movies.
John Boy got to thinking, he might be onto something. And he comes in to buy something, but we never did catch what he was going to be buying. Maybe it's this thing right here.
I often wonder, like, Mike Godsey in this scene says everybody's putting everything on credit. So I'm thinking, if everybody's putting everything on credit, how does Mike Godsey pay his bills?
He has the sheriff go around going, hey, you got X money? You got it? You got his money?
Mike is either a saint or he's crazy or he has a secret benefactor who gives him a check once a month or something.
Yeah, it's like not Mike. It's like not Mike, but
I guess enough people probably pay him in real dollars to keep him afloat.
Yeah. No, they probably pay it every 2 weeks or so or whatever whenever they get their paychecks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no different. It's no different than like you go and like my boss there when I was working at the restaurant. When he'd send us down to say if we really needed something desperate at the time, he'd send us down to the grocery store and then we just tell him put it on and count what so and so there. Then at the end of the month he'd pay the count off.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
or
cool.
he paid it whenever. But he just told us to go down there. Have them put it on this account, then they pay them up later. That's pretty
Yeah,
much
I
what this
suppose.
is.
Yeah, I guess
only
if
have-
you got a line of credit kind of account, yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Then he gives them the whole financial history of them. See, Ike's in the perfect position. I don't know who knows more about the people in that area, Grandpa or Ike.
Well, Ike probably knows everybody, pretty much, and knows their financial situation because he knows when they can afford shit and when they can't afford shit, right?
And
So,
he also does the mail too, because he mentioned they used to get
oh,
insurance checks, but they don't get them anymore. He does the mail also.
yeah. So when he gets letters that are like from a collection agency to a family, he pretty much probably figures it out.
Yeah. So anyhow, John
Good
Boy says
point.
he'll come back for the package there. He pulls up and here John Boy is acting like a freaking stalker there. He's hiding behind a pillar there, scares the shit out
yeah.
of him.
This is a
Then
good
he
scene.
pretty much tells him what's up. Then Dewey comes out, tells him, your mama's gone off the deep end. She's gone over to the Waltons to get her shit back. That's pretty much what he's saying.
I'm just glad she wasn't
You could-
carrying a gun or something, because that's probably what they would have done these days, right?
I actually thought maybe like she had like an old pistol and that she grabbed and she was gonna go hold him up at gunpoint. I really thought that was what.
I did think that for a moment, yeah, but then I thought,
Or at least
no,
have
this is the Waltons,
Or at least
right?
have it in her hand. Well, no, they showed John pointing shotguns at people and that, but I thought she'd come over there and she'd have a pistol and have like a mental breakdown and drop the pistol, blah blah blah, and start crying. I seriously thought that I thought she'd have.
Yeah, it occurred to me that there was a possibility too, actually, Gorilla. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
is
don't
a
know,
good scene, though.
Germ, what was your thoughts when you heard that she went over to the Waltons there and he couldn't stop her? He's acting all like that.
I never thought she'd do something violent.
Yeah. So we got 2 out of 3 green. Okay. He tells them what's up, so they run over there. And here she goes, I just want my stuff back. I want my stuff back. But you can tell I've been affected by modern writing there, by my description of what's going on in the scene.
Well, I got one big problem with this scene. She wants her stuff back, but if John had sold it like a week ago or whenever, how would she get her stuff back? Because it would have been sold to a pawn shop or wherever John sold it, right?
Yeah.
So her wanting her stuff back in this scene makes absolutely no sense at all when you think about it.
Well, she's having a mental breakdown because she's having a mental breakdown. Is what's happening?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because all that's on her mind is her missing silver. That's all that's on her mind.
Yeah. But yeah,
so it made perfect sense to me.
And John's
but
a
here, I'll
thief,
play
though.
this.
He would have sold the shit and it would be long gone, so she'll never get it back, right?
Yeah.
This is a great
Mr.
scene,
Walton?
too.
Yeah, here we go.
Mrs. Walton, I'm the one who took the silver.
That can't be true.
Please, Mama. My mother never understood about money.
And see, that's where we're learning how protected her mother was. She married for money, not because she knew anything there. She married for money, and he married for looks. Their papa married for looks.
My father always protected her and didn't ever want her to worry about anything except being beautiful and his wife. And when he died, no one had the courage to break the bad news about our finances to her.
That's where they went wrong with the whole thing. They should have just flat out go, Mama, we're broke. Daddy spent it all. But I wonder how the hell he made his money. If he didn't what their dad did. They never did go into that.
He was old money.
Yeah, some of that old money probably goes back generations and generations.
Well, it's the fault of the it's called third generational wealth, where the first generation busts their ass making all that money. They bust their ass, Then the second one, they don't work as hard. They're spoiled and all that. By the third time, they don't understand how they made their money or what to do, and they spend it all. And then that's when a lot of the families go into the poorhouse there.
Yeah, I am familiar with that theory. Definitely.
Yeah, it's called third generational wealth.
Doesn't hold up great, but it's a theory.
Well, it makes sense, No, there's a lot of the big families there. Unless you're like a Rockefeller there, the Gates money might last like 6 generations there because they got a shit ton.
Gates family isn't going to last past Bill.
Oh, did he have any kids?
He has kids, but he completely cut the little bastards off. He has a horrible relationship with his family.
Wait, where's all his money going once he's dead?
Well, he has quote unquote foundations all over the world that do, well, Dr. Evil type stuff.
Okay.
He will be survived by his Bond villain enterprises.
Okay, so what's happening here is they're avoiding the estate tax and the death tax there, but by what they're doing is they're embezzling the money into all these foundations there, and then they come back and they take a cut out of those foundations there. It's pretty much embezzlement right there. The same thing the Clintons did, especially when Clinton was Secretary of State. All of a sudden, a lot of leaders had an influx of money into the Clintons' estate there, so they couldn't. So that they're just donating to the Clinton Foundation there. There's not no pay to play scheme, A lot of these wealthy families do that. It's basically tax evasion and embezzlement.
Bad news.
Our money was all gone, Mr. Walton. And without thinking about it, I did what Daddy'd always done. I tried to protect you and keep your life the way it had always been. Please.
Well, at least he explains his motives for doing it. Nowadays, I have highly doubts they'd even explain his motives for doing it.
Don't say anymore. I have to, Mama. That's why I started selling things off. It's all gone, Mama. The jewelry, the pewter collection, everything you thought we'd stored away. I don't believe that.
You better believe it. Now, I wonder how much stuff they have left that they can still talk. They can't have much stuff left.
That's a good point, actually. Like, once they run out of silverware and stuff to sell, what the hell are they going to do to survive?
That's why he's marrying money.
Oh, right. It's not so much as a love story as he's the gold digger story.
Yeah.
You can't. I think it's kind of mutual.
Oh well, if I met a rich girl that wanted to marry me and love me, I guess I wouldn't say no. Not that that's going to happen, but oh well, I can dream. Oh God.
All right.
Telling the truth, Stuart Lee. I am, Mama. Now there's nothing more to say. Except to Mr. Walton. I'm very ashamed.
I'm afraid being ashamed isn't enough, son.
Right there, he's basically saying, "Go fuck yourself. I'm not forgiving you."
Yeah, I love it. John's so angry in this episode. It's kind of unusual to see him like this, but I can understand the way he feels. But
they're calling him a. Well, he was getting framed and called a thief, which is about as bad as what being called a racist was before everybody lost their minds here.
Oh yeah, I totally understand his anger, but I think it's great because we don't usually see John Walton this angry, and that's one reason I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our final thoughts here.
Yep.
The truth is extremely painful, Mr. Walton.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So then John, so they leave. John comes in and he goes, he's gonna talk to his mom, and he tells her what's it. And Olivia was very understanding. She goes, I love that ring. He goes, well, I'm hoping to get it back. He knows that John's gonna do his best to get it back.
Yeah, the last couple minutes with the two of them was really nice. When
Yeah,
he finally opened up and told Olivia exactly what had happened, and it was all good at that point.
Yeah, she's understanding. Then he tells the family, and they all understood.
It was a nice ending. Yeah, I really like this episode. I thought it was a really good one.
All right, now on to our epilogue. The depression lingered on, and there were other bad spells, but we lived through them too. And as each year ended, it was difficult to recall the hard times we've come through. Looking back, I realized now that the real bounty placed before us each day was the love we had for each other. It shaped our lives, fed our souls, and crowned our happiness. Alrighty. So, final thoughts, PvP.
I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a great episode. I feel like a total moron, though, that I didn't clue into the scene where John took the ring out of the box and gazed at it for a few seconds, because it was, as I think Germ mentioned, a total giveaway to the rest of the episode. So, I should have clued in, but I'm glad I didn't, because that made the episode more suspenseful and more of like a mystery episode for me, because I was thinking, well, what the hell did he actually do? He must have done something, and then there was all the stuff to try and throw you off, like he's playing poker and all that stuff, halfway through. But yeah, I thought it was really good. I really like seeing John as really angry in this episode, because we rarely see him in that state, right? So he's desperate. He's pissed off. With the situations he's dealing with in this episode, and yeah, I just thought, and the way the rest of the family reacted, kind of almost, they didn't turn against him necessarily, but they did. They were very unhappy with him. I'll put it that way. And Olivia being the only one, of course, she's always the mainstay, next to John. She will always trust him. She'll always believe eventually it's all going to make sense. And of course it does at the end. But yeah, I'll give this one an A, a solid A. I really like this episode.
Okay. Germ?
Well, it was pretty good. Extraordinarily predictable, but still good. The emotional range is a lot better than what you get today, because quite frankly, acting is, well, they don't act, they just sat there and read a piece of paper. I'd say this is a solid B minus.
Oh, wow. All right. Now, I absolutely love this episode. I thought it was well paced. We got some good introductions there. But this is what I call an enjoyable, predictable episode. Where we pretty much, as soon as they cued in on the clock, which had great foreshadowing, they cued on the clock, then to John spinning the ring on there, we knew, oh, he's going to hawk that ring. He's going to hawk it. He's running out of time. He's going to hawk the ring, And they had something where it's just kind of enjoying it, like they're trying to throw you off, And I was like, something wasn't right with the kid, especially when they said call the sheriff. He goes, oh, let's just wait till tomorrow. Let's go. Keep doing this. I was like, yep, the kid hawked stuff there. Now, for what reason, I don't know. I figured he was doing it all for the right reasons, but the wrong approach there. But, it was really enjoyable, and just seeing John get angry, he's trying to hide the fact that he had to do the very last thing that he wanted to do. Because this is back when marriage actually meant something. It's not just dating. You get divorced whenever the fuck you feel like it. This is back when marriage actually meant something. You had to stick it through. And this even shows at the end there goes through, because when your vows are for better or for worse, and they're in their worst times right now. They're struggling to pay all their bills. They're not getting their payments for people, even though they're still delivering to them, even though people aren't paying and all that. And then not only that, they come and accuse John of being, at that time, was the worst thing you could call him. Not calling someone a thief nowadays don't mean shit. Calling us a racist. The best would be like in the early 2000s calling someone a racist. So like, oh my God, I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. Well, John, he gets angry and goes, I am not a thief. You know, you're going to call me a thief? I'm done with it. Get the F. And I liked how he did not forgive the kid at the end. He goes, shame's just not enough for what you did, what you put us through. Get out. But they're all doing it politely. Now, may have been very crass in my description of what's going on, but that's just me. It's the effects of modern writing on me, and I'm trying to provide some kind of entertainment for you. But this is a solid A+ for me. There's only one scene. Well, actually, a solid A for me because there's one scene I would have changed, and that's when him and John were going at it. Finally, John goes, "You know what happened? Just don't tell your mama. But I had to hawk my wedding ring so I could pay for those tires so we could keep this family afloat." He should have told John, but he just goes, "Don't tell your mother. I'm trying to work up." He could even be like, "I'm scared to tell your mother. I'm working up the courage to tell your mother. I'm ashamed of what I did, but just don't tell her. I'll tell her my own time. But this is what I had to do to keep keep this family going."
Yeah, it would have been better if both Zeb and John Boy were defending John vehemently, but the mother and grandmother couldn't figure out why.
Well, John Boy didn't put two and two together. Zeb, like you said, he might have figured out what's going on. He might have not known exactly what John did, but he knew John did something, but wasn't no theft. It was he sold something he wasn't. He probably shouldn't have sold.
No, Zeb's pretty laid back most of the time, though. So
yeah,
I don't think he usually tries to get involved with any of the deep issues in the series.
Yeah, but I don't think. John there sold that. But I think the reason Olivia understand what happened is when they needed to buy that cow back from the one farmer that was gonna butcher it. Remember that episode, Germ?
Yeah.
There and Olivia sold their memory quilt of all the old clothes that she made a memory quilt and all that, and she sold it for $5.
Wow.
I think she figured, well, I had to sell the memory quilt, so John had to sell to hawk his wedding ring there. No different. It is no different. They both had to sell something that meant something to them.
Well, I gotta say I've been there too, because I remember years ago, like 4 years ago, when I wasn't working before I found my present job, I had rent coming due 1 month, and luckily I had a huge collection of records on my shelf, right? So I just picked out, some bands that I thought would be worth something, put them up on eBay, and I managed to pay my rent that month, even though I hated to let those albums that I loved go. But I'd got many, many years of enjoyment out of them, so I thought, oh well, I can let them go. That's okay. And so I understand how you can sell something you love when times are tough, right?
Yeah, PvP, if you give me a list there, next time I go out to Sioux Falls, I'll look at the record store for you.
What? List? What?
There's a record store out in Sioux Falls I can look for the records that you're missing.
These are going to be swap meet records.
Well, I actually...
Stuff they haven't made since 1970s?
No, this is a secondhand. It's pretty much a secondhand shop there. It's called Last Stop CD Game Shop, but They do have a record section on in one of their stores.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, no worries, Gorilla, because I've still got, all my really favorites. Well, most of my favorite stuff, even though I did sell off all my Alice Cooper and David Bowie albums, but I'd played them to death anyway. So, but I
That's okay.
actually,
That Alice Cooper isn't worth much now. You probably hit the top of the market.
well, I had the early stuff with the Alice Cooper band right in the '70s, so that to me are the classic albums. But I generally just listen to CDs now because it's so much easier, right? Just to pop the CD in the player. Because with a record, you got to put it on the turntable, you got to dust it off with the brush and all that. It's like, you know, as you get older, you just kind of enjoy the convenience of just popping the old CD in the tray and push and play. So that's kind of where I'm at these days. But and also my cousin downsized like a year ago from a house to a small condo with his wife, and he probably I've got a stack of them around here. I probably got like 200 vinyl records he actually gave me because he just wanted to clear space out. And so yeah, I gotta still listen to that and go through those because they've been sitting here for a while. So yeah.
All right.
Good review though, Gorilla. I do agree with everything you pretty much said there generally, yeah.
No, it might have been craft, and I already know. I wouldn't even be surprised if Warner Brothers hasn't already hit me with the claim.
They're probably sending guys out with baseball bats right now, Gorilla. You better hide.
We want the money. Where's the money?
That's okay. Warner Brothers can't afford guys with baseball bats anymore.
You did play, I must say, you did play a fair bit of clips today, though. So I was actually very impressed that you were that brave to do that. So
I'm at the effort stage.
it was worth it, though. It was enjoyable to see those moments.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I haven't already, if they haven't already go hit me with it. Go hit me with one.
I probably have. Oh well. I don't get the whole copy thing though. It's like you're promoting a show that's like 50 years old, and they'll probably make more money now from folks who watch this and go, "Hey, this looks like an interesting show. I'll go out and buy all the DVDs." They're probably going to make more money. It doesn't make sense why they would, do a claim, spend money doing a claim when they're making money off of what we do. It's weird.
Yeah, but I liked at least when they when they hit me with the claim there, they have to have that thing. So my little thing scrolling at the bottom go, due to Warner Brothers hating people talking about their shows, I can't play any clips.
I have found that very amusing while I was watching this episode tonight.
Yeah, well, oh man, they used to hit me with every episode, so I stopped playing clips for a while. But some of these clips are almost like you must play them because they're that damn good. You don't get writing like this, and I don't see any shows where you can go back and rewatch. They have the rewatchability. Like I watched this episode twice today, and I enjoyed it the second time just as much as I enjoyed it the first time. There.
Well, that's what I'm loving watching these. I was glad you postponed the episode for an hour because I'd forgotten to watch it because I forgot you were on today because I had stuff to do this afternoon, and then I got home and I was like, oh shit, Girl's got a stream happening at 5, and then you told me it was happening at 6, and I was like, oh thank goodness I can actually watch the entire bloody episode before it starts, and I haven't. It's been so long since I've seen these. It's like watching them for the first time, basically.
Well, that's because Germ got home late too. He hadn't had a chance to watch it. You didn't have. I was like, I got nothing going on. I could postpone it an hour.
Yeah, you put that. I remember you replying to me in the chat that was happening. Yeah. But it's just like I probably saw a lot of these episodes back in the 70s, but that's a long time ago, so my memory's not that good. And watching today's episode again was like watching something I'd never seen, and it was just so damn good. I agree with you. Like the writing is incredible in this series. It's like they write real people like real people, and it's like, why can't writers do that anymore? Just like write a character that's a real person instead of some weird political crap. It's like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Well, there's still political moments in it, but it's not like in your face and all that.
Yeah,
But
but if it does get a political moment, it's a realistic political moment, right? So,
oh, want to know another thing of why I really like this episode? There's no Aaron.
oh, you're right. So you're not an Aaron fan, I'm taking it.
Yeah, no, it's just the one sister that nobody wants.
Okay.
But next week's episode doesn't look that. This next, I'm not. Oh man, our next episode will be the Roots. Verdi takes a strong liking to newcomer Harley and eventually persuades him to stay on Walton's mountain. So that's ought to be interesting. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that one. Alrighty. So, thank you, Cam's Crash Courses, for coming there. Thank you, the Trusty Ape, for coming. The Trusty Ape has a bunch of random streams. He does his own guitar playing and singing. He has philosophies and all that. Me and him still have to get together and have our discussion of whether or not you'd sit down and have a beer with Hitler. Oh, sorry, YouTube. I did not mean to mention my name. Would you prefer us to call him Uncle Adolf or the Little Mustache Man? I don't know which one's the acceptable term.
Either way, it'd be difficult to sit down and have a beer with the man. He was clean and sober.
No, but it'd be an interesting discussion.
It's interesting. And interesting that a guy was clean and sober came up with the crazy ideas he did, right?
Well, that's because he was clean and sober. He didn't drink it off like the rest of us do.
Yeah, he should have drank more. Maybe he would not have done such awful things.
well, the rest of us, when we get pissed off, we just go home and drink it off. Not him. But,
you got that right. You got that right,
yeah,
Grilla.
Yeah, thank you, Pop Culture Curator, for coming. On Mondays, Pop Culture does his Lost in Space reviews there at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time with me, Jill, PvP, and himself. Then on Tuesdays with Pop and Nemesis of Edens at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. They have a Hi-Fi Horror review. He actually has a poll going on his community page, so make sure to check that out.
Yeah.
Then on Wednesdays, me and him do Gilligan's Island at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Oh, and I just want to mention, Gorilla, one of the choices on the Tuesday horror sci-fi is the classic film Metropolis, and right now, last time I checked today, it's tied. I voted for it, but it's like tied 36.
Is it silent? Is it talkie or silent?
It's silent, but it's got subtitles. But it's a fantastic film. It's one of the most important sci-fi films of all time. It's like a keystone film, if you know what I mean. It's like if you're a sci-fi fan, it's a must-watch. Let's put it that way. And they pretty much have, they found lost segments like about 12 years ago, and they pretty much assembled most of the film back together now. It's like a 3-hour film, but it's definitely worth watching because
3 hours.
It's long. It's long, but it's incredibly good. It's an incredibly good film.
Good. It does ride on its reputation a lot.
It does.
Okay.
It's well, I mean, this is what, like 1930. I can't remember what year exactly, but it's such an old film, and yet it's so well made by Fritz Lang that it still holds up today. The special effects are incredible. The set design is incredible. The acting is solid. Even though it's a silent film with subtitles, it's very much. It's one of those 3-hour films that it flies by with the pacing, and it doesn't feel like a 3-hour film, right?
Well, my
So,
problem is I don't know if I'll have enough time to though. I might have to do that on Sunday if Pop closes the poll and we know what we're watching there, because 3 hours, that's cutting it close from when I get off work to when the stream is.
you know what I would suggest, girl? It's such a good film. I'd just say go ahead and watch it tonight, tomorrow night, whenever you have 3 hours to spend. Just watch it anyway, because even if it doesn't get the poll win, it's still worth watching. And then I know if it doesn't win this week, I know Pop's going to post it again, because it's one of those films I know he's going to do one of these weeks when it wins, right? So
Yeah.
just go ahead and watch it. It's a really good film.
Alrighty. But also, thank you, Daniel's Hot Topics, for coming. Daniel does live streams with his friend Steampunk there, so make sure to check it out. It's a lot of pop culture stuff there. PvP, what do you got going on?
Well, let's see. Not a hell of a lot. I got a 4-day weekend, thank goodness, because it's a holiday. It's BC Day here on Monday, and I need it because I got a lot of stuff I need to do. So it will be a busy weekend, though I'll probably pop on a few live streams if anybody's on here. Not much else to say. I'm still adding music to my playlist of songs that are 3 minutes and less, and I'm amazed how many great songs there are that are under 3 minutes long. I'm probably up to like 500 or 600 songs by now, because I added some last night, and yeah, it's crazy. I'm still editing it and trying to organize it, so it's probably going to be a month before I get that posted. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And my office where I work is going to be closing in about 5 weeks, because my boss decided to shut it down, and we're all going to be working from home, which I think is great, because I won't have to spend 3 hours a week driving to work now. And that's going to save me hundreds and hundreds of dollars on gasoline costs, because we all know how expensive gas is these days, right? So,
Wait, you spend that much on money or much on gas?
well, let's put it this way. I put $10 in the tank the other day, just because I didn't want to run out to go to work on Thursday. For $10, I got 5.5 liters.
What's that in American?
What's that in freedom units?
Well, 4 liters is equal to a gallon. So I got 5.5 liters for $10. It's not a lot.
Jesus Christ! They're not only they're not using any damn lube, they're not even going nice and slow with you. They're just ramming it right in.
That's oil companies for you, right? Basically,
No,
gasoline.
that's taxes.
Gasoline's $1.80 a liter now. So yeah, it's nuts.
Oh, I remember when we went to Canada that one year. It was over $2 a liter that one time. We went to Canada quite a few years ago. This was when I was still in high school.
Yeah, I don't remember that expensive, but it's as high now as it's been. Quite. Get this though, like 3 weeks ago, gas was like $1.60 a liter, and then one day they just said, "Fuck it, we're going to just put the price up by 19 cents to $1.79.9." And it's like only the oil companies get away with shit like that, right? It's like if they put the cost of bread up that much overnight, people would be, wanting to slap the manager.
No.
Yeah, but
You're
here's the
blaming
thing.
the wrong guy.
But here's the
There's
thing.
a good chunk of your gas price, like here in Washington, it's taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Over a dollar of our
Oh, yeah.
$4.60 a gallon here is taxes.
And here in
Yeah,
Minnesota,
yeah,
gas tax
taxes.
is 23 cents. But you know what they're going to say? It's Putin's war there. The Saudis are cutting us off and blah, blah. It's climate change and all that. Blah. Nobody will take the blame.
We live in a pass the buck kind of world, do we not?
Yeah. But and
except, well, I gotta say though, I did get like $100 and something in my bank account today, transfers from the government, because it was like a cost of living benefit, a working benefit. So it's like if you're actually working and making a living, they actually kicked in a little bit of extra money this month, which I thought was kind of nice. So I don't mind that. But you know, they
That's
take
the
it
don't
away.
overthrow us.
They take it away on our
Yeah.
taxes, and then they give it back to us in these little benefit payments,
Pete,
right?
you guys got an election coming up?
I haven't heard of one yet.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought maybe you had an election coming up. That's why you're getting the check in the mail. I
haven't. Yeah, good one. No, I haven't heard of it. I mean, I'm sure election will be coming up.
Well, that's why they announced that before it got overturned by the Supreme Court. They go, literally was it October? There they said we are going to forgive $10,000 of your student loan debt and $20,000 for certain cases, and they did that 2 weeks before an election.
No, there you go.
Knowing full well it was illegal.
Yeah.
Well, we do get regular payments, so every 3 months we get what we call the GST, which is the Good and Services Tax Credit payment, which I can't remember how many hundreds of dollars it is, but they deposit it directly into my bank, like on the 4th, of those months, and that's just something that happens here. We do get credits in our bank every so many months, so. Yeah. Which is nice because it helps. It helps to survive and pay some bills.
Yeah, after they spend the other 89 days of that 90 days completely screwing you.
Yeah.
Well, they give, they take, and they give. What can I say?
Yeah. And Daniel said that was an interesting episode. Yeah, it was. Now, Germ, Germ, what do you got going on?
Tomorrow, 8 a.m., we'll have the 70s classic Godzilla.
Okay, and I'll try to be there for it, but no promise. I gotta see what's going on with my daughter. So, but as for me, tomorrow night, Babylon 5. Sunday night, Sunday, we are doing Bohemian Rhapsody at 7:00, which you still gotta make the thumbnail for it. Maybe I'll make that tonight yet.
Is that 7 Eastern time, Gorilla?
Central. It'll be 5:00 your time.
So it'll be 5:00 here. Okay. Yeah, I want to check that out because I did see like the last half of Bohemian Rhapsody online years ago, and I thought, well, it was interesting. I'm not convinced it's a great, Queen film, but hey. I'm not gonna ruin it. I'll let people decide what they think when you do it on Sunday. But
the whole purpose of this month,
I'd like to.
The band is not happy with the film.
Yeah.
Freddie next of kin is not happy with the film.
Well, as a huge Queen fan, I wasn't happy with what I saw either. But I never saw like the first 40 minutes, so. I need to watch the whole thing before I give any kind of review, but I can totally understand what you're saying there, Germ.
Yeah, and the only purpose of August being songs made into movies is because I always wanted to see Bohemian Rhapsody, so I thought, screw it with it. Which reminds me, PvP, what are you doing next Saturday?
I have no idea because that's next Saturday.
Well, if you're free around 10:00 your time there, which would be noon my time, we could do Cringe Stock there. I got a special movie picked out.
Okay, so as Cringe Stock on next Saturday, which is, let me look at my calendar here. That's the 12th of August.
Here, let me look at. Come on, pull up your damn calendar.
Because that's not this Saturday. That's next Saturday, you said, right? August 12th.
Right.
And 10 a.m. on August 12th, and a Cringe Stock, horribly bad movie.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I could probably make it. Yeah, 10 a.m. Because I usually go on with Jill around that time to watch Voyager, but I'm not a big Voyager fan anyway, so I could probably skip
Oh, you'll
Voyager.
be loving Voyager after this because we're going to even have a drinking game with this one.
Okay, I'm probably there.
Yeah. No, our drinking game is every time you say, "What the fuck are we watching?" We're taking a shot.
Oh fuck. So I'm probably hammered about 30 minutes into the film.
30 seconds.
Germ, should I spoil
Wow.
it? Or should I make you wait?
That sounds really
You
bad.
might as well, so you can stock up.
That sounds so bad. I'm probably in. Yeah.
Sorry,
I'll
are
just-
you
I'll
familiar
just-
with Seth Rogen?
I'll give apologies to Jill, but Jill's cool. She doesn't really
Yeah.
care if I show up anyway. So.
Yeah. Hey, are you familiar with Seth Rogen?
I remember the name. I can't remember the movies.
Okay, there's this little known animated film that he made. I think it was, or what year was it?
Seth Rogen. I should know this. I know this name. Oh man.
Oh yeah, he's doing it
He
in a
was
few
the fat
things.
bastard in Green Hornet.
I never. If that's the Green Hornet movie, I never watched it.
Okay. Well, this is a little known movie that came out in 2016 called
God.
Sausage Party.
I have heard of that. I have heard of that. It's that bad, isn't it? I heard it's pretty bad.
Hey, it got me to say, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
Sounds like a watch. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
It
probably-
got me to
I'll-
send hate mail and, well,
Yeah, I'll
other
probably
things
check it
to
out.
Seth Rogen.
Hey, I got Germ to dust off the old knife sharpener.
Yeah, I'll
he's
probably
sharpening
give
up
it a
that
watch.
he's sharpening up that old rusty butter knife. Yeah, Daniel says Seth Rogen was Donkey Kong in the Super Mario Brothers movie 2000. Oh, was that Seth Rogen? Okay, but
So I'm guessing this is like a watch party where you'll be actually showing the film.
yep, on Cosby.
Good, because I've never seen it, so I'll just watch along on Cosme, and yeah, and suffer the consequences.
Yeah. Oh, we're having you on the panel. We're having you on the.
Yeah, I'll watch on Cosme, and I'll join the panel and probably put in puke emojis occasionally.
Yeah. It's one of those movies I'm actually surprised it got made. Well, actually, I'm not surprised with the world we're living in. But anyhow, but also next Wednesday will be Justified. And I already said The Roots is our next Waltons episode. So, and Daniel says Donkey Kong, he was the best. Okay. Alrighty. So with that, I'm going to end it. You guys have a good night. And remember to